ever, so it doesn't really matter. We're being called. We're not late. We are on time. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But anyway, we're here now. We're a day late. It doesn't matter. We'll get through this very funny video, and we have Cero and Jeg once again. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I was going to say you can speak as well, Jeg, if you want.
Yeah.
So, you can make members only live streams now. I'm not going to do that, but you can do it. It's not northern timing at all. When I pressed live at like 2 seconds past 9, you people are just not lazy. You're impatient.
Zoomers, a lot of
Anyway, as you can tell from the title of this, we are reacting to, or e-fapping as we like to call it, another video by the Lotus Eaters because they are driving me nuts. And Carl came out with another video today as well called it was like advice to Nigel Farage or whatever again. And I'm probably going to cover that.
Video, to be fair.
Terrible one. The way I'm going to react to it is that I'm going to take clips from the Lotus Eaters when they had Ben Habib on, where they were whinging about Farage, saying he should be on 50% in the polls, because that's a very sensible on Kemi time. Whatever. I hate my audience. What were you saying, Sarah? Sorry.
Sorry, what?
I don't know. You started a sentence and you laughed.
The chat is too funny. The chat takes precedence. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Okay, fair enough. Well, anyway, today we're going to see what the Lotus Eaters panel has to say about Nigel Farage and Reform getting based, which my position has always been, they've always been based. You've always just been very impatient and decide to take the worst readings of everything they say. Not you as in Cero and Jeg, you as in the royal you for the royal you for the boys over at the Lotus Munchers. And why I'm probably going to crash out. I mean, Tasha's closed her door because she is fully expecting me to crash out. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm pretty sure the last time I watched a Lotus Eaters video was when you reacted to it, so it'll be interesting to be.
Well, there you go.
One of the people in the channel.
There you go.
I tend to watch Sargon now that he's making stuff on his own account again. I'll watch his stuff from time to time, but I won't really watch Lotus Eaters anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard. I don't watch him at all, really, but I've heard. I only watched him the other day because Ben Habib was on. I was really interested to see how panicky Ben Habib was about Advance clearly not being at the point he wanted it, and he was getting quite panicky. So that was quite funny. But I'll also probably splice bits of that in as well in my video tomorrow. It depends if I have time, to be honest. I might not actually have time to make a video tomorrow, which would be a first for quite a while. But yeah, from what I hear from everyone on the Discord who does watch this stuff, Carl's own channel is much better than the Lotus Eaters. Which to me is really odd, because you think diversity of thought would help, but turns out Carl's just best when he doesn't have friends with him talking, so what do I know? Who's Jeg? I just hear Jaws. Anyway, I've stalled enough. Steadman's not here, so I imagine he slept through his alarm. So he might be here in an hour. Who knows? Anyway, knowing us, it takes 4 hours to get through 20 minutes of Lotus Eaters, so we may as well get into it.
That's why it's e-fapping. That's
true. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But some of us work, Jeg. You're one of them. Right.
I was going to say, we all work.
Right, let's get into it.
Oh. Wait. Before we start, who gets to be metal and who gets to be, who's going to be Mauler?
Well, I'm obviously
Harry
Mauler.
Has to be Mauler.
Yeah, I'm Mauler because I'm Welsh.
Sarah is Rags because he's the degenerate, and then I get to
I was going to say, can I be Az?
No.
Oh.
Az is bald.
Pronouns.
I mean, we can all crash out at some point.
I still love that clip. But yeah, let's crash.
It's very good. Yeah. This is why it'll take us 4 hours. Yeah. Well, I suppose people might be wondering because right. Let's go through the panel. Carl, everyone knows, idiot. Firas Modad, he's a new guy. I think he's Israeli. Or if he's not, he's Eastern European. I can't remember I don't really pay attention. But one thing I do know is that he's foreign, and that obviously a lot of Lotus Eaters goes on about getting out the foreigners. And it's a point I always make, and they're not precise. Actually got what they wish for, which is half of what Steve Laws wants, then Feed Us will be going, and they don't seem to realise that. Anyway, other guy, Mr. H Reviews, he's a media channel who's a bit right wing. That's pretty much it. That's all I know of him. I don't know if any of you have heard of Mr. H Reviews.
I've never seen
I
either of these people
haven't.
before.
Also, I've moved a bit closer to my mic. Is that better? In the Discord, it sounds like we're all even, but
I might have played around with the volumes yesterday because I was getting tired.
No, it's fine. To be fair, you were trying to play your game, and I was just yapping about
No,
something.
I mean that was fine. But anyway, let's play.
Control, or the right wing is in control. The online right, we are in control. We are winning effectively.
Yeah, we've been winning for like a year.
Wait. We're stopping again. We're pausing again. Chat makes a very good question.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a Mrs. H Reviews?
I have no idea. I literally don't.
Her.
I do not know about the guy at all. But right.
We're not a little bit too uncertain in the way that he said that, but he needs to be more convinced with that we are winning.
Yeah. We are not pausing for every comment the chat makes, by the way.
I mean,
being told by Mitch turn Cero up. Cero does not need turning up anymore. He sounds fine to me. Right. Anyway, Patriots in control. Blah blah blah. Go on. Let's hear why.
And I want to talk about Nigel Farage, our flip-flopping Farage,
our erstwhile dear leader.
Yeah. Well, but there's benefits to this. There are benefits, at least.
Again, the flip-flopping all comes, as I've been through millions of times before. They pick up on deep into an interview, one clip where it's like, oh, he's not saying mass deportation, and now he is. Again, there's a large difference between being 20% in the polls and fourth, and 30% in the polls and first. There's a big difference there, which is never particularly appreciated, but I guess I'm just at a point where, do you people not understand that he's a politician? And that because
it doesn't really feel like flip-flopping. It's been like consistently just turning up more in one direction. It's not been like flip-flopping from one to the other.
Well, even in that whole Steve Edgington Cope interview, he won't say mass deportations, but he constantly says throughout that interview, if you're here illegally, you will be going. It's like,
yeah, and they just like turned up and like just seen the level at which people want to have it done. Well, they haven't backtracked at any point. I don't know. It just seems weird that they're like.
Yeah, it's as you say, it's one direction, and it's, as I keep saying, if you actually listen to what they're actually saying rather than just looking for the magic words, that it's been relatively consistent, and the details come out. That's the only difference. Go on, Sarah.
What it feels like is, you know, the meme that Elon posted about the Overton window, basically. Like, I'm standing here, and then the left went more left, and then I stayed in the same position.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel almost like Farage has the same problem, but for us on the right, where at one point we were on essentially in the same ballpark politically, you know, as far as, I guess, our own, for lack of a better word, extremeness. But because we're in our echo chambers, we've sort of slowly drifted right, and Farage has stayed in the same place. And from some of our perspectives, it will seem like he's sort of loosening and whatever, but he's actually not changed his position at all.
No,
I think that something like that has happened.
That's what I keep having to tell people. Yeah, Nigel Farage has basically had the same opinions for 25 years. Right. Everyone else seems to be just, I want to be as edgy as possible for magic internet points.
Because I have undoubtedly become more, I'm not going to say extreme because that sounds bad. Yeah, I have more, I don't really want to use the term radicalized, but something along those lines. I've become more staunchly not leftist since Brexit. Like, most of my opinions haven't changed, but I guess my whole approach to everything has. And so when you look at Farage now, yeah, Farage does feel like he's to the left of me, but ultimately, that's not a him problem. That's probably a me problem.
Well, yeah, have people moved right? In my mind, not really. They've voted consistently for immigration that's basically close to net zero. Less than 10,000, I think, was always what the Tories said, but that was way lower than the hundreds of thousands we had at the time. Nobody wanted illegal migrants in the country whatsoever. People wanted foreign criminals gone. Even the public have largely stayed where they were. It's just politicians have gone radically left wing over time, and now they've decided to call everyone racist again.
I mean, I've had a slow and sort of encroaching realization that I'm not like the average person.
No,
though I have a lot of similarities. There's a lot of crossover. The Venn diagram do have a lot of overlapping circles, but ultimately I am not like them. Even though I actually am quite moderate overall, I am more extreme than your average person, and I recognize that.
Yeah, but
it seems that not everyone does.
Absolutely, everyone remotely interested in politics is, just by definition. So I wouldn't worry about that. Plus, you're not
worried.
You're not as mad as you are not as mad as the Lotus Eaters. So that's okay. Right. Anyway, we're 20 seconds in.
We're looking at him on a curve. So the flip-flops instantly are no good, obviously, but we look at him on a curve. It's fantastic. So I think to start,
isn't that basically what Harion's been saying for the last year?
What, that Nigel Farage is basically giving out detail slowly.
Well, if you normalize everything between what he's doing, between his rhetoric and everything, you normalize it over a period of time. It turns out that actually we've been moving in the direction that we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
We want to be, yeah.
Yeah. You're obviously going to take more political risks when it's less of a risk, i.e. when you're 10 points ahead of everyone else and the incumbent party. You're obviously going to take more risks there. You can't take the risk of saying mass deportations when you're 10 points behind. You can when you're 10 points ahead. This is basic politics. It's basic.
Not to mention that we have a government that, if you are a little bit too edgy, then you might actually end up finding yourself behind bars.
Well, exactly.
If you don't have, and I don't like it, and this is something that
us and
the Lotus Eaters would agree on. Yeah.
Yes. No one's defending that, yeah. But also,
if you want to get stuff done, then why would you intentionally...
let's put it this way. Pete North went in jail. What outcome really? What changed from that? Pete North got a bit more popular and got a Telegraph headline. Nothing's changed. So you just put yourself through stress for no reason. And another thing I want to it's kind of hard to say, but Dankler obviously got done over for it. But people who seem to fight free speech issues tend to win these days, and it's because of the Free Speech Union. We've made some headway there, but it's nowhere near where it should be. So it's not. I actually don't think it's as much of a risk as it was if you know how to deal with when you get arrested, which is just plead not guilty, get a solicitor, even if you have to stay there for another 20 hours. You've not done anything wrong, so defend yourself. But that's easier said than done. I've never been in that position. I do appreciate that. Anyway.
I have been stopped by police a number of times, but it wasn't because I actually did anything wrong. But you do get that sort of weird deer in the headlights moment of what do I do?
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't.
Yeah, once my dad was taken to the police station. I can't remember what for. I think it was a driving incident. He didn't crash. I can't remember what it was for. It was back in the 70s or something. Yeah. But he used to put talcum powder in his shoes, and the police took him off him, and he just panicked and said, "Oh, it's not cocaine. It's talcum powder."
I've had similar fears with creatine. Yeah. Just having just a pouch of creatine on you, it's this doesn't look good, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
pretty much a year ago, and what Nigel Farage had to say.
Back to this again.
Can I just skip the Edgington Code? But we know what they're going to say.
Yeah, can we please?
I'm so fed up of this. Oh, remember the Edgington Code? Yes, I'm fed up of hearing it. We have to keep... This is what's so funny. We've had a year of Farage apparently flip-flopping, and they have to go back to an interview a year ago to say, look how much he flip-flops. It's the same one, yeah.
I could just tell from the background. Like I know it so well at this point.
Yeah. God, I do get annoyed at Steve Edgington. He either gives like an 8 out of 10 interview or a 2 out of 10 one. He's never mid. I don't understand how he manages.
You're saying that he flip flops?
I'd say he flip flops in his ability to do interviews. Yes.
I mean, that is what he said at the start. So I'm not going to keep. There's no point labouring the point, and you guys watching Nigel Farage.
True, I agree. Stop labouring the point because it's a stupid one.
Be a wet blanket, a wet lettuce. We've seen him do that many times. But
I'd love that. We've seen him do it many times, but we still have to keep bringing up the same Edgington interview. Come on.
Coincidentally, that was the 17th of September 2024.
Yes, it was a year ago.
And then today.
Oh,
sorry, what?
Oh, so we are having mass deportations.
Yeah, he said that in the interview. If you listen to him, if you are here illegally, you will go. You know, and
wasn't this like almost a Brexit point actually as well? Like his position hasn't really. Yeah, I guess it was more the European like laws. So I guess that would have included the ECHR.
Yeah, I mean,
if he had his way. Illegal
migration wasn't like as big an issue in 2016. It was post Syria that
true
got massive.
And also in the headline, as it said, Boris Wave is the additional extra bit.
Yeah, which obviously is 2019 to 2020. But it's, you know, do you want mass deportations? No, it'll be politically impossible. Oh, we've looked into the detail. Turns out it might actually be possible. It's like, that's not flip-flopping. That's understanding your means and your ability as a politician.
But then also the thing that he said is like, well, if we don't know how many of them there are and where they are, then like we're not going to be able to get all of them.
Yeah, well, exactly. And then on top of that, again, like we're in a completely different paradigm now. But a year ago, they were second or third in the polls, like they were going between. Now they're 10 points ahead. Like again, you can call it flip-flopping, I suppose. You know, there's a little bit of a difference in rhetoric. Yes, I've always said that. But I don't really care about the rhetoric and the buzzwords. I care about what he, like the detail of what he said. And his detail was always illegal migrants have to go. And this time, to be fair, even now, this Operation Restoring Justice doesn't promise to get rid of all illegals. It promises to start the process, which is what he said back then anyway. It's remarkably consistent, really. Much more consistent than anything that come out of Labour.
But chat makes a good point. But did you read Evola?
Or
Evola?
No, I saw a meme of Evola licking some femme girl. No, femme girl. That is a girl. Some
femme
like
girl.
Gym girl. That was it. That was it. Gym girl abs. Yeah. Yes, I know. A femme girl is just a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I've never understood that meme. I'm just like, what?
It's an old joke.
No, I know, but I'm just like, there are many things that we could probably argue with like, you know, Lotus Eaters and AA and stuff about, but I feel like that's the one I'm most passionate about. He's wrong on the the feminine abs or whatever it's called, the tomboy abs. He's wrong about the tomboy ad. Yeah, tomboy abs.
AA's wrong about something. Tell me, what else is new?
Like, that is the hill I'll die on. There you go.
There you go. I can see why you get on with Zen.
Back on the menu, boys.
Superb. I mean, great. I mean, I'm glad to hear it, Mr. Farage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. So this released today, and obviously there's been a
sorry. Can I just be really petty?
Be as petty as you want. Do it.
The bottom two blocks need to be brought up a little bit because the head's been cropped at an awkward.
As we were going live.
Oh, on the stream.
Did you see it as well?
Oh yeah,
I do love how the middle guy is like weirdly shoved in the corner of his box. He's like not centered as he's just kind of like shrinking into the corner.
Having said that, having said that, I'm very jealous of their studio.
Yeah.
It needs more wood paneling and flags, though.
It does need more wood paneling and flags. I'll give you that.
I actually think I feel a similar way about how they say that they feel about Farage, about the Lotus Eaters. I really wish that they did, that they had sort of committed to their initial vision, and that they had sort of stuck to, I guess, I don't know what would you call it, like
Not being
less of-
slop.
They did start out with really high quality content. I know because
Yes,
I was a member.
Effort is the word you're looking for.
Mm.
I wish
I want-
that the Lotus Eaters effort posted. To be fair, I think they still do. It's just behind a paywall. The problem is that we've said it before, but with the free stuff,
Yeah.
you never really. I've even had to tell Stelios this. Like the stuff you see that's free doesn't really seem worth paying for. But if all the stuff behind a paywall is really good, but no one knows, like what do you do? Because I'm not being funny, but I've rarely seen anything on Twitter or anything like that go viral from the Lotus Eaters, like ever. Either their free
Good
stuff or
point.
the stuff behind a paywall. Like, I've never seen anything from them go viral. Whereas, you see the odd Ben Shapiro clip go viral, whether it's good or bad.
I've even seen like Sargon clips like from his own thing go viral
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, but nothing from the Lotus Eaters ever does. And it's putting your finger on why, and part of it's the lack of effort, obviously, with their free stuff, I should say. But then the stuff behind a paywall, no one seems to care about. I'm not even sure how many people watch it, and whether people just give them because
I used to.
Yeah, but I mean, I used to as well. But God, what was it? I used to watch a couple of their series regularly, but I can't even remember which ones they were now. I know it wasn't Bo.
Symposium was good. The history, the Bo stuff was actually good when he.
Oh, I'm sure
his
it was.
history content.
Yeah.
The history content was great. Even some of the Brokenomics stuff was actually not too bad.
I watched a couple of Brokenomics, yeah, and then I just
Yeah.
Dan, as soon as Dan said he doesn't believe in the moon landings, I just don't care what he has to say. I know it's completely unrelated to economics, but I cannot take someone who doesn't believe in the moon landing seriously at all. It's like it's literally like someone saying the Earth's flat. Like I'm just never going to take anything they say seriously. The Earth flat one's especially bad for me because of my degree, obviously, but still. But
Oh, that's a good point actually. Sargon does get reacted by Asmund, and to be fair, those were actually really good.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
But yeah.
But even that, like
that's his main channel.
That's his
not,
private. Yeah.
It's never anything on the Lotus Eaters.
Yeah, true. So it's a bit of a weird one that because they put so much money into it, and yeah, apparently I think they overturn like $750,000 a year or something. So it's
not bad for a small venture, but yeah, it's.
I'm kind of wondering
I'm
kind of wondering where it comes from because I have no idea how many subscribers there are, but because there's no way. How many subscribers would they need for that? Like what's 750,000 divided by 5? Because that's the minimum, which I assume most people pay. I guess it might average out. I don't know, but I guess we'll call it 10. So they need 75,000 subscribers worldwide. That's actually probably not unrealistic, to be fair. But who knows? Yeah. Then again, no, I don't think like the Young Turks have ever said we've got this many members. They go on about subscribers, obviously, and they've got 500,000 so on YouTube. But as we say, it's pretty amazing that I've never seen a Lotus Eaters clip go viral. The only one I have seen go viral ever is Harry saying naggers, and that's because everyone was laughing at them saying this was really stupid and no one's going to take you seriously. So there you go. Anyway, we need to get through this.
Well, to say that the figures that they've got in here was based on a study which was slightly incorrect, so they're going to publish some new studies or whatever. But the basis of it is, it doesn't really matter, actually, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't care about the money.
The basis of it is that they're saying, reforms say mass deportations would save £234 billion, as it warns Boris' wave of migration will take critical toll on the welfare system.
On the money thing, you have to put money to this sort of thing because every question you get will be about the money. Like, you don't have to care about it, but your analysis has to bear that in mind.
It's the 2 points of the how are you going to be able to pay for this? And you're like, well, actually, it will save money. It's like the
exactly.
kill counter to it, and then the other one is obviously to but immigration improves the economy. And it's like, well, if we look at this, but like you need to have the money aspect because
but
it's very
it's also
and the optics.
Exactly.
I was just going to say really quickly, the optics is like, then why are you doing it? Is it just because you hate the brown people?
Exactly, yeah. Like,
sorry, did I beat you to it? Sorry.
No. Oh, no, it's fine. No, great minds and all that. But yeah, it completely rug pulls your own, like, well, your own position, really. Oh, I don't really care about the money. Oh, so why can't we do all this socialist stuff then? Oh, I care about the money then. It's like, sorry, like everyone cares about economics to some degree in every issue. Like it does matter because obviously the means to do things matter. How you're going to pay for it matters. What money does it bring in matters. Like it matters everywhere, especially in this day and age, and probably for the last 2 centuries. So there you go.
So they're looking at this from a monetary
economic perspective.
Oh my god. They're now trying to undermine reform by saying they only care about the money, they only care it from like a materialist perspective. I don't know how you can say that about Farage and reform when they talk about culture and they talk about the issues that are brought with mass migration outside of economics. The problem is that economics was all that the leftists talk about, all the left-wing media talk about. So you have to bring your arguments on their terms because ultimately we've not properly had the paradigm shift there yet. But it is happening, by the way. As I went through my video today, Sky News were remarkably nice to Zia Youssef with some of his arguments from today about stochastic terrorism, which is, I think I said in my video, all I could think of was Vorsh, because he always used to go on about stochastic terrorism and was the worst offender of it. But it's quite funny to hear it on Sky News.
I mean, Hassan's worse now, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I ever heard Hassan say it. But he is.
No,
he
but
didn't
he's
say
the
the
worst
word.
offender.
He's definitely the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Vorsh did have a tendency of
Yeah,
just
yeah.
constantly saying it.
It's called stochastic terrorism. Shut up, Vorsh.
Which is not the correct one, but anyway.
It's not, but it's a start. We've gone from.
I'll take whatever I can take. You know, I'll take whatever I can get.
We have gone.
This was literally my
Oh, is it
position.
I think it's just the spirit of abject desperation at this point.
But I mean,
Why are they laughing?
They're saying that they'll take what they can take.
Out of like reform policy.
Yeah.
I suppose it is very funny to say at this point, like the whole point of Lotus Eaters is to basically counter signal Farage, it feels like, but then Carl keeps going on live stream saying, I'm gonna have to vote for a reform, and then the next day had Ben Habib on. I don't think it was the next day, but it is still quite funny. And Rupert Lowe, of course. Anyway.
Well, the thing is, voting for Farage was Plan A. This whole other thing sort of span off from this.
Oh.
This is all like a recent thing that just happened over basically the last year.
Yeah, well,
like not being funny, but since the MEP thing, the Brexit thing, we've been at this for what was it, like a decade, and in the last year we were the ones on the right, and like on the Dork right, they started like wobbling about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it was quite funny because Tory Rebuttal on Twitter yesterday, I think, basically said, "Oh, come on! Like the main reason you're backing reform is because they're winning." And I'm like, "Sorry, I was backing reform before the last election when they were 12% in the polls, before Farage came back, by the way. So no, you can't actually make that claim of me. I went to reform because the Tories monumentally irritated me, obviously, and reform seemed like the only chance to effectively protest at the time." And then Farage comes back, and it's like, well, this will be a political earthquake. That's what Matt Goodwin's been saying it for ages, and I've basically parroted him because he knows what he's talking about because he's a professor in all this. And I've noticed he's not gone on Lotus Eaters since. But then again, he was only ever interviewed by Connor Tomlinson, who was basically their only face to the mainstream. And now he's gone.
Yeah, well, we've gone from he's not interested in it at all to a year later.
And not only that, in the Edgington interview, he's like, "Well, is it at least your ambition?"
No.
And he was like, "No, it's not my ambition."
Yeah, I'm not interested. Political impossibility, wasn't it?
Doesn't want it to his name because it would sound bad, frankly.
Yeah, and a political impossibility was what he said.
Okay. Yes. That's just all yes.
Well, in the current paradigm, that is true.
Yeah. It's
like, to be fair, the question is if you came to power. It's like, yes, but at that point, I will give the argument because I was disappointed by it as well, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was disappointed, but like at the time, the zeitgeist hadn't shifted like it has now.
Yeah. Oh,
People.
When was it when people started massively talking about immigration? It was after the Boris wave numbers came out, and it was like we found out 1 million people came, and then Reform obviously put pressure on, and then everyone had to talk about it.
Yeah.
I also like how he
South-
said he wasn't going to labour the point, and then he's gone back to labour the point.
And then we literally bring up the Edgerton interview again. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, he's flip flops all the time, by the way. But we still have to go back to this one interview a year ago. It's like the only thing.
but I'm not going to labour the point.
But yeah, I'm not.
And I'm also going to bring it up again.
And I've not even crashed out yet.
And so a year later, we've now got this on the table. So, brief rundown of this.
Thank you, Zia Yusuf, by the way, who's head of policy. Just want to point that out. Mr. Oh, where's he come from? How can you trust him? I know it's like, wow, this is the best policy we could have hoped for. Yeah, it's crazy.
This article says Nigel Farage will pledge to eject hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants, so legal migrants, in an unprecedented reversal of Britain's relaxed border rules.
It's quite funny. There was a tweet I saw today, actually, where you know how Labour have been calling Farage racist for this policy, and then they came up with a similar policy that, to be fair, isn't retroactive, but is like trying to get rid of indefinite leave to remain. Someone made the point that all of Labour's rhetoric is the Boris wave is like a massive disaster and one of the worst things to happen culturally to Britain, but we can't do anything to reverse it, otherwise it's racist. That's the Labour position. And they wonder why they're 20% now.
I am a little bit mixed on the indefinite leave to remain. Like, for the Boris waivers, I don't have any personal connection to that. But I'm just thinking about, like, for example, my wife and my family. I mean, my wife's married to me, so I guess that's not a problem.
Yeah, spousal visa.
But then I think about how...
keep.
Yeah. But that's why I don't like people sort of talking so flippantly about... Not you, for obviously.
Oh, no, sorry, I'll say it to your face. I want all your family deported.
I mean...
I think that there's a better way of doing it than the way that it currently is. So like,
yeah,
it's not like you're just going to throw it like, nope, no one gets to stay here ever again. That's like a ridiculous position.
Well, yeah, well, the position for reform is, you can get other visas like a work visa. Realistically, you have 4 years to get $3,000 together and get citizenship if you've been here for long enough. Like that's another route to it. Yeah, because that's the thing that no one ever talks about. It's not like people aren't going to react to this. I mean, people were in my DMs saying, "Oh, I've got friends and family worried about this. Like, what can they do?" And it's like, well, if they're working, they'll get on a work visa, hopefully. If they've been here for ages, why aren't they a citizen at this point? Like, let's be real. There's ways around it, but unfortunately, it's just the reality of. Well, an idiot move made before, and no one's done anything wrong, but ultimately,
and then trying to fix it just makes it like it's really awkward to do because then it's just like, oh, it's because you just hate these people. Like the messaging is like really important to like because it's just like, oh, but you're going to be mean. And you're like, yeah,
and
you want them, like...
ultimately, yeah. Like I don't want Cero's obviously a friend, and I don't want all his family deported, obviously, but ultimately, it's their responsibility for the next 3 years. Well,
after the chickens, I was thinking about it.
Well, you know what? When I become a British ICE agent, just call me. Anyway, hello, Steadman. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. Apologies for arriving late.
It's okay.
I woke up on time and then I just fell asleep. I don't know.
I've done that so many times.
Yeah, you did wake up at 6 yesterday as well, but then my internet went out. Anyway, you're not, to be honest with you, you're not really missed much because so far it's been... 4 minutes in. We're 4 minutes in, and it's been, remember the Steve Edgerton interview? We're not going to labour that point. Oh, remember that Steve Edgerton interview? Farage flip-flops all the time. He flip-flops all the time. He never stops flip-flopping. We can only really point to this Steve Edgerton interview. We're only going to go to the mass deportation thing and ignore everything else said in that interview, including all illegals will be gone. Anyway, it's...
beautiful. Typical Lotus Eaters.
Yes, exactly. So, well, with that, you can join the stream on Discord, and we will carry on. We are getting through 20 minutes of this.
Steadman can be just to keep the.
No, right. No.
Steadman is obviously a little platoon.
Yeah, he's a little platoon.
Okay.
Because he sound. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Because Steadman's clever, and so's a little platoon, as I know, because he's been on a stream of mine before. Right.
The height of intelligence.
Harrion holding a gun to Cero while crying like in Mice of Men.
Bruh.
I mean, I'm a British citizen, so it's going to be a bit harder to get rid of me, but I guess they can still do it if they put their minds to it.
True. Well, we've not
True,
got
true.
Steve Laws in charge, so don't worry about it. Anyway, we'll carry
I'm
on.
not worried.
Reform UK leader will unveil plans to force all migrants with a permanent residency to reapply for visas under stricter criteria, including a higher salary requirement and a better standard of English. Now, this is all actually perfectly reasonable stance.
Completely reasonable.
It's not like most of the world would agree that this is, just absolutely fine. Like, there's no controversy here at all. Shouldn't be.
No.
Anyway, yes, you should be able to speak English.
No, it's very racist, actually, according to Labour. But yeah, we know that.
But
You're in
it's
England.
just good, like preying on the fact that people don't actually know what the specifics are.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. It's like, well, they just focus on indefinite leave to remain's gone. It's like, I'm not being funny. We have actually had that for decades, but it is ridiculous. The main reason it's ridiculous, I actually wouldn't mind it if it didn't give you access to benefits. That's where I think it's crazy. It gives you access to absolutely everything you can access as a British citizen, apart from voting. But that's because most of them can vote already anyway, because most of them are Commonwealth, who get an instant vote as soon as they step foot here. So, yeah, there's a lot of reasons that the immigration system's mad. And indefinite leave to remain probably would be okay if, they had to work to stay here rather than getting benefits. Or,
And
and
also, they
get free
wouldn't need
NHS.
benefits. I was going to say, they wouldn't need benefits if the economy wasn't in the state where you need to actually have a huge income
Yeah,
to actually be able to buy normal things.
yes. True.
There's a circular problem here. Yeah.
Dead End Satellite makes a good point, by the way. Vicar Steadman's obviously fringy because he's upside down at the moment.
That's a
Yeah.
very, very good point.
No.
No, yeah.
Which means Jeg's little platoon.
People do
Sarah's
act-
rags.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
Well,
will
people
remain
do
as rags.
actually
in.
Oh, hi, Rags.
Oh, hi, Rags.
Oh, hi.
In Australia, people actually
Hello.
do say no as like a diphthong. Like this is true. Actually, do like
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
hear that constantly. So but it's just like because I didn't really notice it before like EFAP and Fringy, even when I was sort of living in Australia. But now I come back, even though I sort of make fun of it, people don't get the joke, or they just think I'm sort of just saying no to like
No.
make fun of the diphthong, which I sort of am, but also I'm trying to spread the good word of EFAP. So
Excellent.
it's just,
Excellent.
just a
Nice.
kind of small world.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you should earn lots of money because we don't have to pay for you.
Yeah,
Why are we paying for you?
You should be able to facilitate your own life.
If you're not even that, if you're not a net contributor to the country, why
Yeah.
are you here?
Yeah, 100%.
Remember when we used to call Lotus Munchers loose women? Like, this is the perfect example of it. It's just them saying a sentence and giggling. It's very Foydcast.
Yes.
I was just thinking of that.
Yeah. So.
But Voidcast at least has women on it,
Yeah, it does. Yes. So does Laughing at the Guardian with some women. So there you go.
Enough parasites of our
Wham.
own, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, exactly. So they're saying that it will save them like £234 billion, or us. It would save us.
Even if it was a tenth of that, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Interestingly, it probably actually is about a tenth of that because I think they got it from Centre for Policy Studies, was it something like that? And they instantly came out saying, "Oh, they used like an old number of ours where we thought like a sixth of foreigners were on, or a sixth of benefit claimants were foreigners," and it turned out that was wrong. It's like a lot lower than that, but I wouldn't trust one number alone anyway. To be honest with you, I don't think we have full information on this. And I don't know if
And also,
we ever
given the
will.
amount of just every time, it's just like somehow mobility is everywhere. It's just like
Well,
I don't trust these people.
well, the problem with that is that a lot of people on that are probably citizens as well. I mean, that's the other issue. How do you revoke citizenship? Because it will have to be done for. I mean, we did it to Shamima Begum, and there's good, very, very good reason for that. So you have a precedent there. And given that Palestine action is prescribed, just saying.
We can quibble over, and this is what the
Well-
online.
There you go.
I think the revoking citizenship argument is going to be a lot harder to make, which is why I think they're doing one thing at a time here. I don't even think they'd touch that. I
Oh,
think that'd be
yeah.
too spicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of establishment are doing now is trying to quibble over the numbers. It doesn't matter. If it saves any money, yeah, that's fine. Even if it saves my culture, it saves my country, that's fine. It
Cool.
could save
Even if I
no
have to
money.
pay for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I pay for them to go.
Yeah, even if
As we said before, there's kind of rug pulls what they really want, doesn't it? Oh,
I mean, I don't really want to pay more if I can help it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm completely with that. I don't. It's
I'm already in the 40%
The-
tax bracket. I
the-
don't want more.
yeah. The worst person for this is Charlie Bentley Astor, who talk about flip flop. One day she says that like brown sauce is too much for her, and she doesn't even buy ketchup, which I just don't believe. And then the next day she's like, I don't care if I'm poor as long as all the immigrants are gone. And it's like, no, sorry, pick one. What are you talking about?
Mm.
If anyone says I'd rather the immigrants go and we were poorer, I just don't believe them. I don't believe anyone would intentionally make themselves poorer just so that they can see less foreigners. Because anyway, the economic argument's on our side. Stop conceding, for God's sake.
it didn't
Yeah,
save
like
any money.
you can make the argument
Well, I
that
think it's
maybe
the-
like in the short. Oh, sorry guys, Steadman. I've been yapping too much.
I know. I was going to say it's probably the post-liberal rhetorics that love to
Yeah.
say that as a kind of signaling, which they sort of did over the Trump tariffs. Some of them. Well,
Of course they did.
because,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's as you say, it's just virtue signalling. It's just, I'm not a materialist. I'd go poorer. No, you wouldn't. Shut up. You're trying to get musk bucks.
True.
I'd be happy. Even if
Fuel
it cost
box.
Oh God.
money, I'd be happy.
I remember
Right.
realizing that the Remain vote was going to lose because in the debates they kept on arguing that leaving the EU is going to cost you £300 a year. Your family will be worse off by £500 a year. Sold. Like, but I would pay that just to wipe that smug look off your face.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think Project Fear worked actually.
Project. Well, the Brexit one.
Yeah, the Brexit Project Fear.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't.
Some of the edits were wild.
Yeah, like it's just again the economic argument was on our side, and that's part of the reason we won. But you know, they would, as much as people try and say, "Oh, that bus was lying," it wasn't, because the NHS got way more than 350 million a week. Madness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what was it 500 or 600 a week? Was it?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. It's more than it should have.
It's just a made up number at this point. It just doesn't really matter.
It's never had more money. Is all we know.
Yeah.
It's never had more.
And it will never be enough.
Nope.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Another 20 trillion pounds. The NHS.
With another 20 trillion seats to reform. What a meme.
True.
Yeah, you know.
It's beautiful.
Oh dear.
Anyway, his perspective on that's fine, like if that's when he predicted it. But I do find it very funny that they're talking about getting rid of legal migrants while hiring one. I will never not find that funny. But there we go.
So, Zia Yusuf, Reform Policy Chief, said the changes would lead to hundreds of thousands of people having to apply and ultimately losing their settled status. So we're basically talking about like denaturalisation. Like they're gone. They're completely gone.
Well, they're not naturalised if they're not citizens, are they? But
I guess it depends on your idea of naturalization. I thought that
I'm pretty sure
usually was.
naturalisation usually means it usually just means integration.
Okay, I've been using it wrong then.
Well, let's find out.
Well, when you acquire citizenship.
Yeah. The admittance of a foreigner to the citizenship of a country. Oh, so I was exactly right. That's quite rare. I'm really bad with words. Yeah, so that's not denaturalisation, because they're not having their citizenship taken off them, but it's live, I don't really care, it's fine. Right.
And this is all to do with, we have this thing called indefinite leave to remain as well, where, you know,
Sort of like a
5
green
years,
card.
isn't it?
To
Yeah,
explain to the American audience.
If effectively a
If
green
they've lived
card.
in the country consistently for 5 years, for some reason they're just allowed to become citizens and they can just stay forever. And I don't understand.
They can't, it's not citizenship, Carl. But whatever, it's live, I've got to remember that. I've said stupid stuff live.
It makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, it dilutes the
Right, BDL.
Yeah. No. It dilutes the prestige of the country, because if anyone can gain
Obviously.
access based on time, there is no what's good about a country. Where's the appeal? You know, you want to live in a certain place because it's exclusive.
Well, I'd push back a bit on this because
So you don't want to live in a place because it's exclusive. You don't go, oh, I'm going to go to like. That seems a really weird point. You go there for a reason, like not just because there's no one like.
yeah, a definite leave to remain wasn't a problem before the Boris wave, for a very good reason, and that's that most people didn't stay for 5 years because a lot of people will have been given work visas or whatever. You know, there's exceptions like the Windrush generation, and obviously people that wanted to return home and couldn't necessarily afford it, say. And then they get indefinite, which is weird actually, because you have to pay for indefinite leave to remain. You pay to apply, and it's like $2,000 or something. To become a citizen, it's like 3, by the way, as well. So it's a bit odd, but indefinite leave to remain wasn't a problem in or as much of a problem, I should say, in like the 80s, because people who applied for it will have actually been working here and will have been integrated to some degree. Whereas now, obviously, in the 2000s, you've got entire enclaves that just basically try and get, not even try, they do get indefinite leave to remain so they can get on benefits. And as we said before, the mobility cars and people in council houses who need interpreters. Do you remember that clip of, I can't remember where it was in the country, but a council worker had to bring an interpreter with him to sort out housing for a massive family who were in like a 3-bedroom house with like 4 generations, and they were like, oh, this like one son and his wife and their 4 kids are like really annoying us. Can you find alternative accommodation? None of them spoke English. Like that's when indefinite leave to remain obviously gets mental. But you didn't really have that problem back in the 80s and 90s. That's a very, very recent phenomena. And it's become a problem now, so it needs to be sorted out. So thank you, Farage, thank you, Reform, and thank you, Zia Yusuf, Policy Chief. I will not stand for Zia disrespecters. Anyway. Anything to add, anyone? I'll take that comment.
Exclusive. We like exclusive things. We like things which are rare. If anyone can come here, it loses it.
Sure, but even then, why should we give any of it up to anyone else? Anyway?
Oh no, I agree.
You are right, but these people can just piss off back to where they came from.
Yeah, they've got a homeland.
Yeah, fit ass. You're Hungarian or whatever. This is what I wish they were just honest about this. Like, yeah, we want to be selective. That's fine, but
you don't have to be so absolutist with your way you're saying it.
Yeah, but if they do it for the views, it's like whatever. Fine, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Boris waved 3.8 million people. Boris let in like 3 years.
Yeah,
it's like you are
insane.
It is
mad.
Mental, and there, that's fast approaching now. Yeah. That needs to be fixed. Now, there's a few things to take a look at of why this is good, right? Because
take it doesn't mean the Boris wave there. I assume that's not good.
That would be the pivot of the year.
Now that's a flip flop.
It's like, you know what? We were wrong. We were wrong about Marx. We were wrong about the Boris wave.
I mean,
just 180 on everything.
I'm not being funny, but Carl has pretty much said he was wrong about Marx, so thinks that he's worthwhile. So I'm so sorry I have to tell you that.
It did upset me.
I think I think Cero was referencing that directly.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Right. Let's carry on. Yeah, 7 minutes, not bad.
I wasn't aware of this, but I became aware of it. When you start talking about things and you make it policy, the Lords can't overturn it. They cannot overturn it. They cannot get in the way. So the fact that he's saying this now, as much as he's weak source, flip-flop, Farage, whatever.
How could you just spent 5 minutes saying it was based in Red Pill? What do you mean?
Not going to labour the point.
Not going to labour the point, but remember that Edgerton interview a year ago? Why are they like this?
I mean, it's a convention that the Lords don't oppose Commons votes on policy, but I mean,
but they're literally doing.
They're
quite literally doing that at the moment with assisted
convention.
dying. Yeah, they're pretty much doing that with assisted dying.
I mean, Yeah, you could argue that well, because there's a whole technical legal background behind it, but the whole Miller number 2 decision of Boris Johnson's prorogation,
Oh yeah.
the sort of quashing of that accidentally got rid of, I think it was like a proceeding of Parliament, which was some sort of like bill was going to become an act, because parliamentary business just carries on and all this sort of stuff. But that also got quashed because it was part of the prorogation order to like wrap up Parliament. So inadvertently, what happened was the quashing meant that this bill could not become an act, even though it had been voted on. I think it was something to do with like local government or whatever, and so it had to be redone again. So in like the Supreme Court's flurry to like tell Boris Johnson he was a naughty boy, they there's many legal scholars say they did violate parliamentary sovereignty in that moment. So, if the Lords are incensed enough, and because that it's the current year trademark, we could see for the first time they go, actually, this is a bit racist and rude. You can't be doing this to the poor brown people.
Yeah.
And then Lotus Eaters go, oh my god, how is this happening? And then we actually get like a 1910 style like constitutional showdown. So I don't know. Maybe people should be considering like, we're already seeing a lot of opposition to this policy. How they've gotten
Well, it's racist.
wild over it, quite frankly. So we should be a bit more prepared. Yes, it is.
Yes, I mean, yeah, the Lords can't overturn it, but the Lords is there for a reason, and it's to basically, basically redraft the damn thing. So it's, it's not quite that simple, I think, is the way to say it. Anyway,
this is very good, very promising.
Making it into a manifesto promise means that the Lords does not get to overturn government policy that it was elected on. Yeah.
Oh, that's why they can do the what's it called, the assisted dying bill, because that wasn't in the manifesto. Interestingly, they could probably overturn the digital ID because that wasn't a manifesto promise either. But as you say, that seems more a convention than it seems a a hard and fast rule.
It is a convention.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's no like statute that governs this.
Yeah. But the whole thing's going to be reformed anyway, so I can't wait.
Exactly, they cannot get in the way of this. So if they win a majority and they get in, and this is in their manifesto.
What's this if? It's a when. We're doing it. We're on the good timeline.
I mean, I think the only other option at the moment is if Hitchens is right and Starmer just, uses struggle, in the Pokemon sense. It's like he's out of skill points. He's just going to, and he just goes balls to the wall and just says, screw your democracy. I don't know. That's like literally the only option.
Going
I think.
in.
Struggle has really high recoil damage, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Someone in chat's asking, what's going on here? Are we on the side of Sargon or against, or more like me, part of the alt-right in 2014-17 and watching the S show unfold? Well, I don't think any of us were alt-right. We're very much against the alt-right. But we are.
Well,
I think. Wait. I also want to clarify. Alt-right means a different thing now than it did back in 2014.
Yes, but he said alt-right in 20. Well,
yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Well, I don't know what he means by alt-right necessarily then. But he puts a lot of frogs, so I don't know if he's a groiper. We're not groipers.
Yeah.
Groipers are cringe.
No. Put it this way: most of us here were fans.
Groipers.
Yeah, most of us were fans of Sargon back in the day, but
we're scorned ex-fans.
Yeah, I still have a soft spot for him personally. But yeah, I think that recently, I think most people agree, recently they seem to be going against stuff that they even were for like 2 years ago. So
yeah, it's like a lot of people in online circles. They're just contrarians. Because that gets you, that's like encouraged, that's incentivized for Musk books and subscribers and whatever. That's why.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm not anti-Sargon. I don't think I would ever really be anti-Sargon, but I think that we are criticizing the fact that
critical friend.
You're a critical friend of Lotus Eaters,
something like that.
Yeah. So
I think that's probably, like, in a funny way, that is probably actually very accurate.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let. I mean, the thing is, this video is titled "How the Online Right or whatever are puppeting Nigel Farage." this whole thing has been them basically reminding everyone about the Steve Edgington thing, which again that happened over a year ago at this point, especially when this video was released, and now, like, you know, where's your argument for, you know, where you're saying you're puppeting him? I don't understand, because you're still complaining about him. It's like, oh yeah, this is very good, but I still want to complain about Farage not saying the magic words a year ago. Like, people call me obsessed.
We spent a third of the video like building up to something, so we'll see what, you know, if we get anywhere with this, or it's just.
I want an argument, basically. There's not been one yet. Come on, actually, can I? Oh yes, you can. Right, there we go. That'll make it more. We'll get through this now.
Yeah, and they actually seek to enact it. Which, oh God, please.
Lots of ifs.
Please.
Lots of ifs here. But okay.
Exactly, but that's fantastic. It's superb. It's absolutely brilliant.
Good.
So,
agree.
I love that the Boris wave has become a political word in Britain, and that it will forever.
Yes, well done, Mithras, by the way. He coined that term. It was pushed by Drupka Cunley and Max Tempers, and then it got in the posting to policy pipeline. Also helps, of course, that Zia Yusuf's a massive Twitter addict, so he's almost definitely seen all our tweets. So there you go. Oh, we're a critical friend, but we're left, right, centre. We're definitely right wing, but we. I pretty much don't. I only care about the left insofar as you know, laughing at them. Like the right kind of needs to get his act together. Luckily, Reform's largely got its act together in terms of keeping out the idiot right. So that's pretty much where we are. Like,
we are a broad church, but we are basically centre right, but not dork right. That's the easiest way to describe us.
Yes, quite. We are avid followers of Harrianism, which is basically what that is. Anyway,
what?
Anyway, talking about Boris Wave has been incredible, and Jeremy Vine having to explain the Boris Wave to normies was just so funny. I can't wait to. I imagine if politics comes up next time, I'm like talking to my family or whatever. I imagine I'll have to explain like where the Boris Wave came from. Anyway,
so there's this funny little account on Twitter.
So one of my mutuals.
What's a mutual?
Oh, exactly.
Ever be associated with Boris Johnson?
What do you mean by ratio? Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Get back in the heck out.
Take your meds, Gran.
Hey, Grandma, let's get you to bed.
Yeah.
One of the worst, if not the worst, Prime Minister we have ever had.
In his own words, he wanted the Financial Times.
Sorry, no, that Clement Attlee's easily our worst Prime Minister. I'm not having this. Like, Boris Johnson was bad, but he was no Clement Attlee. That's all.
I thought we were talking about Starmer. I would say Starmer and Clement Attlee are definitely competing.
Starmer's kind of a non-entity, because anyone will be doing what Starmer is doing in Labour. So I don't. He's a non-entity.
Yeah, but he's doing it, so it's him. So it's
all right. Fair enough. You've won that.
He hasn't got enough time yet. This is the thing. Is that like it hasn't been. It's been an unreasonably short amount of time into the.
If they end up passing the assisted dying bill and they end up passing digital IDs, then I'll admit it. Then you've got.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair.
But
it
we'll
feels
wait.
like it's been a very long time since I was speaking about the online safety bill.
Well,
it feels like it was a long time ago.
That was a Tory thing, so can't really blame Starmer for that.
Well, no, I'm happy to blame both of them.
Yes, that's fair enough. But but Starmer is known to flip-flop, so you never know. He could accidentally do something useful. He's not so far, but he could.
Used to like him again.
We live
Why
in
do you
hope.
want those traitors to like you?
Child of a man.
Yeah,
Child.
disgraceful.
So you've got, articles like this from The Guardian. Farage vows to scrap indefinite leave to remain, placing thousands at risk.
The thing is,
Good.
It needs to be millions.
Well, it's going to be hundreds of thousands at the very least, but it needs to be millions. You are right.
the other big immigration destination.
Oh my god, I'm so based and red pilled. I want a gorillion deported. Like, yes, it probably is in the millions. It probably is in the millions, sure.
I am surprised that The Guardian didn't, like, exaggerate it.
Well,
like,
thousands at risk, yeah.
Yeah,
it depends on the journalist, really. I don't recognise Jessica Elgert, so she might not be that mad.
My brain is so broken. You said Gorillion, and I just imagined opening up my bank account to see Harambe. Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm a lost cause.
Yeah, just I think this is one of my biggest issues with the dork right, though. Just it's like you remember when Pete North posted, "Oh, I'm not really going to counter signal reform anymore because we need them to win." I was like, "Yeah, you've let perfect be the enemy of good for like a year, and it's been crazy." Whereas my position has been, okay, realistically, let's look at the playing field. Oh, reform are like easily the best thing I've ever seen in politics in my life. So yes, please. Like, I am very much on the side of that. And then you have idiots like Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe trying to make alternatives, and who really cares?
And then, like, if you're going to be critical, at least like do it in some level of good faith. Don't just like take the one fucking Steve and just run.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we can't do that. We just cannot do that. It's
not possible.
Easy bait. It's red meat, low hanging fruits.
The amount, like,
and we're going to take it.
The amount of times I've been on Twitter defending Farage and that interview is put up in front of my face, and I'm just like, nobody cares about this but you. Like, you know, the dork right. Like, this is like, I don't know, 50,000 people maybe in Britain. Like, you are the only people that care about this. Everyone else basically thinks it's going to be deporting all the troublemakers. And from the policy, it looks like they're largely going to do that. That's why it's amazing. He's, what, -9 in approval ratings at the moment? That's incredible for a political leader at this point. He's only beat out by Ed Davey. The only reason Ed Davey beats him out is because everyone that wouldn't like him doesn't know him. And people that do like him are slightly irritated that he does hobby horsing for cameras. Like, he's just a non-entity.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ed David's been like, even though, funny enough, he was in coalition government and even in charge of the whole post office shebang,
he was
like years ago. So he's been like mostly a non-entity. So like most people aren't going to form an opinion of him. Unlike Farage, was like, oh my god, the racist, the poster.
It's pretty.
The NHS bust.
Yeah, -9 for Nigel Farage is actually quite impressive, considering that he was the big mainstream boogeyman for 20 years really. Nuts. So yeah,
It's the same thing as like Trump though. It's like if they go so hard on the people and all of the people that are fed up with the mainstream, it almost like it is some level of a boon that like, oh, these people who I don't like hate this person. Well, maybe they're something good to them.
Yeah. This is where the smear merchants meme actually has a lot of weight. Like when people can see that they're obviously lying, but they pile on regardless. That's like, I think that in and of itself is probably a force that moved a lot of people to reform.
Yeah.
You know, when people started seeing, oh wait, reform are actually they're not like frothing at the mouth, but they are serious. And then every time that you have someone that comes to them and says, oh, they're not serious, or they're not frothing at the mouth, or they're frothing at the mouth lunatics. Yeah. People can see that it's not true. People at this point probably know people who vote reform, and when you have got that personal aspect, it's very hard for you to have a caricatured view of something when you've got a personal reference. You know.
Well, yeah. Well, you know it's gone bad. It's gone bad for the left wing when half of the like union members are openly saying they'll be voting reform or are considering it at least.
And I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're just voting in self-interest, they have no like if they don't care about the country or whatever.
Well, the thing with the unions is that they're effectively an arm of the Labour Party. So when you've got an arm of the Labour Party membership revolting against them directly, and you call them basically racist, you got no.
I assume it's the same thing with that happened in America, where it's like it's the regular people that like are just like union.
They do it because they have to, yeah.
And they're so far apart from the leadership that like politically that.
Oh yeah. I mean, unions have come a long way from what they were in like the 70s, where if you had a public sector job, you had to join the union. You were forced to. And then whenever they had a vote, you couldn't do it in a secret ballot. And then if you voted wrong, you were beaten up. The unions were ridiculously corrupt. And they can't really do it these days, so now they're all just kind of panicking. And like, all of our members want to vote for Farage. It's not very good. Whereas we're here just laughing about it. It's great.
The nations are the Gulf. Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia.
Look how they do it.
Look how they do it.
Yeah.
You lose your job, you're out.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
You will never have political enfranchisement.
And
You'll
you
never
will
get
never have
benefits from the
citizenship
state.
unless the king decides that, you are granted citizenship because of my benevolence towards you and your personal services for the country.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're a bit more liberal than Qatar. We don't have slavery for a start.
Just about.
Well, the king used to just be able to grant a more than denizenship, or like grant denizen status, which wasn't citizenship per se, but it was sort of close to it. It was like, it was a kind of early form of like permanent residency, except you couldn't like buy real property or whatever,
Yeah.
like real estate.
Yeah.
And you couldn't give the status to your children if they were born before you got the status. But this is like a sort of early modern period thing. I think actually growing citizenship was a thing only Parliament could do. So I don't know. I'm just being a bit legalistic to the Lotus
No, but it's
Eaters.
interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're live, and none of them are experts in the field.
Do you know what?
fair enough.
I mean, I could be charitable, but also I could just not be.
Well, it's early over there, so I don't blame you.
Should we roll a dice and we'll see see what mood you're in?
I came here to crash out, and they've
Yeah,
not said
exactly.
anything that makes me want to crash out yet. I'm very
It's
disappointed.
that exclusive. It's that
One
limited.
sec, I'm going to find my D20. One moment. Here we go.
Now they have a sort
I
of
got 14.
Well done. That's a crash out.
visa in the UAE that lets you stay even after you lose your job.
Sure, if you paid
But that is based on a ridiculously high income
Yeah, yeah.
and based on so many other requirements that they are genuinely recruiting the best.
Funny thing about the Middle East as well, these rich oil countries, whatever. I have some of my old teachers move there to teach, and they're effectively put in colonies. That's the funny thing. Like they're put in these compounds to live in, where you're actually allowed alcohol, and it's very different to the like culture around there. But obviously, Lotus Eaters and us to an extent would say, well, we don't want places like this. But to be honest, I've thought about it a bit more, and it's like, who cares about Chinatown? You obviously don't want many of them. We have Chinatown in like 3 cities or whatever, but a limited number is fine.
Once again,
Obviously got
it's the
loads.
problem with the like crime that comes with that, which is not the
Yes.
thing that happens in Chinatown to the same degree. It's like,
Well, Chinatown basically has high class crime going on, which is like, happy ending the massage parlors and probably some level of money laundering or something. But
I was going to say, do you remember the good old days when you just the crimes you had to worry about were like money laundering?
yeah, well, that's the thing. Whereas
The good
obviously,
old days.
obviously, the more recent arrivals have not been. Well, it's just been horrific acts of violence and grooming gangs and
sorts.
things like that. Yes.
Not to
Exactly.
mention also money laundering, apparently.
Well, probably,
But,
yeah. Well, I don't even think they launder it. I think they just pay everything in cash. Anyway.
So this isn't controversial anywhere else in the world, which is why the liberals have to understand how extreme they are.
Oh yeah,
They're
that.
trying to turn Britain into a global slum,
Yeah.
which is an insane policy anywhere in the world. Everybody who lives in a global slum wants to leave it.
Well, I mean, that's not how the leftists think, obviously, but yes, they do. That is the inevitable consequence of their policy. I do agree.
Well, they keep coming here.
which is why tens of thousands of Brits every year.
But there's nowhere else where they get benefits except in Europe.
I know. It's actually insane.
Yeah,
and so you
true.
got articles like this saying, Reform UK plans to force non-citizens to apply for visas with high salary thresholds and no access to NHS services. Don't tempt me with a good time. This is
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, perfect.
Good, yeah, okay. I want to hear arguments. I want to hear how you're controlling him.
This is how it should be.
Non-citizens should have no access to any services. What are you talking
Why am I paying
Yeah.
for some rando to turn up and use my tax money? Like, I don't even get to go to a GP. Like, it's that inaccessible to to Britons that work. This is the thing, and I've argued this a lot. Is
Should we skip this? I think it's got to be the
agree with
most.
him at this point.
Well, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's saying everything right, and this isn't quite the video I thought it would be. Like, I've been falsely advertised from what I thought this would be. I've been clickbaited. Unbelievable. They've got me. This is
Being jet-baited.
this is why I'm not
You
giving them
based-
money. I kept clickbaited. Unbelievable.
those that cry about the welfare state end.
Go on.
Oh no, I was
Steve.
just gonna say maybe the second section of the video will be like, this is why
Well,
we actually
hopefully.
control them.
Well, hopefully, I hope it is, because if it was just the introduction where he says Patriots in control, I'm gonna be mad. Anyway,
are the ones which can use it. Those that are paying for the welfare state can't access it. Like, I can't access the NHS. You think I'm going to be able to call up at 9 a.m. when they open and get an appointment in a few weeks' time?
I get this from my wife all the time.
It's an
like
impossibility.
The phone line's open at 8.
I don't think this guy's ever called a GP. You can only call them in the morning and get an appointment for the day because they have targets. I remember when my only GP appointment I ever got, I called them at like midday, and they were like, "Oh no, we're booked for today. Like, you have to call first thing in the morning to get an appointment." So I don't even think he's tried.
Everyone.
I usually book in advance, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel ill, I'll see you next week or something. To be fair, though, it usually is something that's a checkup or a blood test or something. So it usually can be put off, but it's annoying that it has to be put off so much.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm with them. The NHS is just a massive backlog, etc., etc. But yeah, getting a GP appointment is actually very annoying because the only way to get one is to basically time your call and hope that you're at the front of the queue for the call.
Also,
which is
Zoomers
even
in
worse.
Yeah, 801 or something.
Yeah.
Zoomers in the chat who might not remember, but you can probably find a clip of an interview with Tony Blair with people complaining. This was back in like the 90s, early noughties, whatever. I can't remember exactly when. Where people were complaining that the NHS was seeing people too soon, and they didn't have enough time to prepare for their GP appointments because they were all happening too quickly.
Yeah.
They were getting booked too soon. Just to put it into
Incredible.
perspective.
Yeah. Sorry, so, Alan's just said in chat, high class crime, like a happy ending. I'm dying. Sorry, but you've got to understand. Like, someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone wrote an article in the Spectator, basically describing their time at a massage parlor with a happy ending. Like, someone wrote that in the Spectator, so that's why it was my example. Harry, you can crash out at them clickbaiting. That's a win-win. Oh, he's got a point. Yeah, you're clickbaiting me, you bastards.
8 a.m. and instantly.
I guess the night is still young.
There's slop merchants who clickbait.
Yes. Anyway, get to a point. I know the NHS sucks. Come on.
Like getting good.
But those that actually fund the welfare state are unable to use it, and that's not how it should be, because that's only going to breed massive resentment, huge contempt for those that are using it.
Yeah, we're all annoyed. Yeah.
Then it's so many other things like housing and.
Oh my god. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. All parts of the site.
We get it. Yeah, it's fine. I guess we don't have a problem with this. They got a show to run, but I get bored of talking about this. I can't imagine talking about it every day. I don't think I could do it.
Money. So why are we doing any of this?
Oh, it's delusion.
It's crazy.
It's not that. These people keep saying that any kind of corrective measure is fascism, and what they are doing.
They actually called it racist, to be fair. Oh no, David Lammy called. Yeah. Oh no, David Lammy didn't call it fascist. He said that Farage flirted with the Hitler Youth when he was younger. I still don't understand why he said that. The Hitler Youth, it ceased to exist 20 years before he was even born.
No. I think I've worked out what he meant, right? So when the Hitler Youth grew up and are adults, he flirted with them then. So he flirted with members of the Hitler Youth.
You've got me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nailed it.
I was racking my brain to try and get this one to match up, and this is the best I can do.
David Lamb is going to double down. He's going to say, actually, the actual grooming gangs are,
the
Nazis,
friends we made along the way.
In college.
Okay, sorry. I ruined your joke. I'm so sorry.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to cry now.
Right. Come on, let's get to something interesting.
Willing into being fascism.
Yeah.
If this keeps on going for long enough, people in Britain, by 2035, let's say this continues to 2035, people in Britain will be roaming the streets looking for people of a different race.
Yeah, 100% they will.
It will get there. So
I don't know how much I actually buy that, to be honest. I think too many people are too docile. I think what's more likely to happen is self-segregation just locks in. I think that's more likely.
Yeah.
I think that if you follow it on a sort of a logical, like a linear path, if the frustration keeps going, it is likely that it could manifest in that way. I don't think it would, but I think that the likeliness of an outcome like that happening grows more as frustration mounts.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
yes, the risk certainly goes up, but I suppose if they're talking about like, oh, this happens the odd time, sure, I agree that is somewhat likely, but yeah, the problem is that it sounds like it's a generality when the generality is, yeah, as we said before, more likely just more self-segregation, which is what has been happening for years anyway, and it's how most people get away from it. But then how much of it spills over? Because was there like a murder in a like small town that had like barely any immigration? I can't remember. It was a while ago. But
no, there was something like that.
Yeah. So maybe that'll affect it more. Who knows? Anyway.
So if you don't want it to get there, please moderate and have some sense.
Becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, we've seen the TikTok videos going around of like a couple of English guys being like, oh, you're a Muslim and I'm going to bully you in the streets. And so look, I don't want that to be the country. I don't want that to happen. But what you have to
I've not seen that, and I'm on TikTok all the time. But I'm sure it has happened. Actually, the only one I've ever actually seen in the wild on my TikTok was two guys going around in a car. Using water guns on Hasidic Jews, like the proper curly hair down the side, the hats. That's the only one, like, hate crime, if you want to put it that way, that I've ever seen on TikTok. So yeah, I've not seen. I don't know I don't know why you try and bully a Muslim, given that the meme is they have a very close knit community that would F you up. So what do I know? Seems like suicide more than anything.
to understand is
Well, if sorry police will have us think, women get just sexually harassed all the time when they go jogging. So I'm sure you can find examples of hate crimes, of
that's true.
dork writers trying to pick up, Islamic chicks or whatever.
There you go. That's true. That's true. You got me.
population demographics really matter in this way, and you're going to get essentially the Lebanonization of Britain.
And
otherwise, you've got no choice. You have to make it so that we are by far the majority population, and that's just never going to change.
I mean, in Lebanon, just to sort of make that point briefly, I think
cool.
I think Dan and I are doing a long episode about this, but there were so many abuses from the Palestinians for so many years that at some point in 1975, the Christians just turned murderous.
Yeah, so
and went absolutely insane because that was the only way to get the country back.
Yeah, so
unfortunately, they failed.
Yeah, so that.
Damn.
But that has happened in history, and if you don't learn from it,
yes,
you are not qualified to be in government, and you are not qualified to opine about policy.
Yeah, the thing is, if
thank God for reform, then I guess. This conversation's gone somewhere I didn't think it would. This is not what I was expecting when we came on to a video titled basically "We're puppeting Farage." I was promised the second half of this video would be funnier. Now I'm just bored.
I mean, we're on the second half, so.
Oh God, come on, say something
It's
interesting.
just about.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the thing about Lebanization was interesting. I'll give him that. But I came here to crash out. God damn it.
Blue balls yet again.
My internet should have gone off again today.
you've got a population that is reasonable with their requests, and they're doing it in a reasonable fashion, you heed it before it turns into that, or what we're getting now as well.
Yes.
The thing is, the more amenable and
they really do labour points, don't they? I know. God, pot kettle black. God, I hope I'm not this bad. Is what I should be saying. Which I don't think I am. But I can stay on points for quite a while. Then again,
they're supposed to be.
Are we labouring the point by saying they're labouring the point? That's a good question.
I mean,
But they're professional.
They're professional labourers.
We never said that we weren't going to labour the point, though. That's the difference.
Ah,
It's
fair.
true. I would never make that claim.
But this is labouring a different point that they didn't say they weren't going to labour, to be fair.
That is true.
But I don't think he's going to say anything substantially different to what we've already heard. It's the thing.
restrained, citizenry are in their requests, the more extreme they'll be when they snap.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, he just repeated the point. Okay, it's alive. Everyone does that. Don't complain.
nobody in Lebanon
That whiplash will be.
I'm actually looking for things to complain about because I haven't crashed out yet. This is very annoying.
Would you like me to argue with you, Aaron, just to make you feel better?
No. We'll get through this.
in Lebanon ever objected to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Armenians showing up
Yeah.
because they set up their own institutions. They went into work immediately. They took care of themselves. They were not a burden to anybody. They lived in a slum in the beginning, and now the whole area is full of jewelry stores.
Yeah.
You know, it's nobody dislikes the Armenians. They didn't ask for anything. They were genuine refugees. They just...
Nobody dislikes the Armenians. My man. Do I have a genocide for you?
Obviously, he's feeling inside Lebanon, but it's just
Yeah, I know. It's quite funny to say no one dislikes the Armenians. Why were they in there in the first place? Oh, loads of them got genocided. But it's
similar
I
to
suppose
Hong Kong.
knowing
Lots
that
of
Lebanon,
Lebanon.
there probably would be. Oh,
Surprisingly, people fleeing genocide generally, unless they're from a specific area close to Lebanon,
oh my.
generally more
It is
more appreciative.
Yeah, it is quite funny how Fidas there has basically made an argument for some colonies don't bother anyone, and then Carl and everyone else is like, no, get rid of all of them, white British only. Rah. Ugh. What a time to be
I guess
alive.
they'll start arguing Armenians are white, and they'll bring up the Y DNA chromosome studies.
Well, there you go.
The thing is, this isn't even what Carl believes.
No, I know. Well,
as
you
far as
can't-
I know him, I mean,
I
I've
have to say, go on,
I've
you
been on the
first.
internet a long time. I know Carl. Well, I don't know Carl personally, obviously, but
I know him parasocially.
I know. Unironically, I know him very parasocially. I've
Yeah.
probably spent more time listening to him than I have large swathes of my family. Over the years.
That's probably yeah.
Bro.
So it's like the racial aspect is. It almost seems like I can understand the racial aspect, and I can actually sympathize with it to some extent, but it just seems like out of place. Like it doesn't seem to make sense as part of this this conversation in many ways. It just seems just odd. Anyway, sorry, I'm
No, it's
crashing
fine.
out now.
Good. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Doesn't matter. Let's go on.
Sorry.
Just been
No, it's not your fault.
just been genocided. I'm like, okay.
I'll be honest with you. I got distracted because I saw Nomos event tweet, and I saw the term boxcar because that's run by Scrump, and all I could think is when they said, "Oh, degenerates in a boxcar," and I think you're in a three-way relationship with two other men who pretend to be women. Like, come on. Anyway.
Whoa.
We can live here. That's fine. We're not gonna hurt.
I just
Except
got derailed. Yeah, I just
Yeah, I
had to process
derailed.
that.
Yeah, I know. You have no time to process. I don't want you to. I want to save your brain cells.
And you're not gonna hurt us.
I'm surprised Nomos is still a thing.
Well, it's not really. It's just an account that Scrump posts.
Well,
from.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's still floating around. Yeah, I don't know.
It got infiltrated by Hope Not Hate. Like, they're supposed to be good at gatekeeping. The guy who infiltrated, by the way, isn't like unknown either. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that everyone was having a go at for having that fake passport. Like, how do you not realise that? Ugh, anyway.
They just start grouping gangs.
Weird.
They didn't do any of this stuff.
What was the religion of the Armenians again?
Orthodox Christians.
Yeah, oh, what a surprise.
It sort of makes a difference.
Yeah.
So
Take it the Armenians were Christian.
No, I'm sure they wouldn't make this argument for Ethiopians somehow. But,
I mean, well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I assume Armenians are Christian. Otherwise, why would they make the argument?
yeah.
He said Orthodox Christian. He said it in the video.
Oh, there you go.
Richard Times tweeted this out, says reform will scrap the indefinite leave to remain scheme retrospectively.
Oh yeah, I'm
So-
listening, Richard.
We're building off of even more stuff has started to come out. So
Yeah,
again,
Mhm.
you know, don't tempt me with a good time. Come on now, Richard, do this, please.
Yeah, don't you dare tease me, Richard.
Yeah.
Well, you better vote for them then. I swear to God. If they vote advance, I'm going to. That will make me crash out. If they vote for advance and manage to not get a reform MP because of that in Swindon, that's what will make me crash out more than anything, I think. But we'll see. Very much that I'll vote for a third party candidate meme.
Yeah.
Like, you're only supposed to do that. You're only
You get
supposed
exactly what you deserve.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God! Imagine if Carl stands for MP for advance. That'd be very funny. Imagine if he does that and then votes reform anyway. That'd be memes.
He's playing the long game the whole time.
Yeah.
He knows that he's the sinker of parties, so he's joined advance to say better be bound from the inside.
To be fair, I don't
The
really.
longest play.
I don't think Ben Habib needs that much help to sink the party. To be fair, but we'll see.
This is true.
So hundreds of thousands of migrants will have to reapply and will not be able to claim any benefit or social housing. And that is the first thing that reform has said that I go, that's good.
Yes.
Like, actually do this. That's
The first thing.
That's the first thing. Apparently, that's the first thing he's thought. That's good. Not what was it? Operation Restoring Justice a week before this, by the way, the illegal migrant thing that everyone was happy with. No, they weren't happy with that apparently. But now, first thing they're happy with is retrospectively indefinite leave to remain. Oh, honestly, they've come out with like what 5 policies at this point, and the one that was kind of meh, who cares, was the Britannia card, and now I can't remember the others. But they did like a whole 2 months on talking about crime. Oh yeah, the prisons, sorry, the Nightingale prisons, and then sending murderers to El Salvador, potentially. Like, how were you not happy with that?
Yeah.
Like, come on. I get it's alive, but come on. I know you're being hyperbolic, but my God, come on. They deserve way more credit than this.
A fantastic idea, because there are so many people here that are under the sort of pretext of them being here was just to claim money that they're of no benefit to society. They don't belong here. Then leave, right? You know, the only people that should be here.
You went through all this. Come on.
And are not a benefit of society are natives, and even then there should be an element of, you know, pushing them to then be a benefit to society. Yes. But you know, that's a burden which we just will unfortunately always have in a society. But we don't have to be
cool.
by random third worlders. Right? That's just not. That's a choice.
Yeah, you again, labouring the point. It's alive. It's alive.
Paul says, "He who does not work does not eat."
So does Lenin.
Yes,
Lenin's
I don't think St. Paul was quoting Lenin.
No, I don't think Lenin was.
Carl, you know, Carl's got a degree in philosophy.
I love Carl, but I'm so happy I didn't pass uni.
It depends.
Well, you know,
if you do anything in STEM, you usually come out pretty unscathed, to be honest.
It's fine. I wasn't in STEM.
at least you used to be. Don't know about now, but yeah, most of the actual good philosophers of history, or at least somewhat good, were never professors, certainly not philosophy. So it really makes you think. Really makes you think.
Excuse me, what about Nietzsche?
Yeah, I too love
He was his own thing.
You know, blaming the Jews for everything. You know, Jew this, Jew that. That I love that.
Did he do that?
And also advocating for. Yeah, no, yeah, it is actually central to Nietzsche's sort of philosophy. And like the value of
So I've only
grape. Let's just put it that way.
Oh God, I didn't know about that bit. I've only read Beyond Good and Evil from Nietzsche,
Oh.
and the main thing I remember from that is that he's having a go at Germans because they're like too naturally anti-Semitic. But I guess he was like, I'm supernaturally anti-Semitic. I guess is the way.
I think the point is more. I mean, there's probably a difference between early and later Nietzsche thought, but I think to summarize, to
Pre-
not
and post
labour the
syphilis.
point, basically, in academia, there's like obviously being kind of, especially decades ago, there were like fans of some of what Nietzsche said because God was dead, and so then they did a bunch of apologetics for him, and you know it doesn't help when you're translating text, so they can sort of selectively quote things that Nietzsche says and then repeat the quote unquote good things and ignore the stuff where he's like the vitality of life is, you know, grape and all this sort of stuff. Just ignore that, don't mention that. And so that sort of bleeds into the mainstream. It's similar with Heidegger, who actually, I think Jacques Derrida praised him and said something like, nothing I've said hasn't already been said by Heidegger, despite the fact that Heidegger was a member of the Nazi Party and is known to have like failed his Jewish students, you know, and even in the 60s was saying like Hitler was like the last chance for Germany to you know, be great in the sense of have a coming of being into the world and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, there are a lot of, basically, to borrow from the woke leftists, a lot of problematic things that these philosophers talk about, which are kind of forgotten, but that's a whole discussion for another time.
Mitch is saying Nietzsche was not obsessed with Jews. His sister was the anti-Semite. He wasn't. I don't know, man.
No. So, I mean, if I actually get the quotes and references, this will actually derail the stream. But no, I can provide references.
Okay, well, you can talk to Mitch.
I will actually.
Well, I tell you what.
Yeah,
why
I'll
don't
do
you
that
get
in
the references
chat.
and I'll
You guys-
derail the stream. Then you don't
Yeah,
get blamed
that's-
for
Yes,
derailing the
well,
stream.
That's fair
we
deal.
want that.
Anyway,
Oh,
let's.
are we actually agreeing?
Hooray!
Sorry.
Yeah.
I actually looked at my dog like surprised, and she was like surprised as well. There we go.
Right. there's 8 minutes of this left, and my God, it's just I was expecting more. I'm disappointed in this. I'm disappointed in you, Carl. I think to be honest, 5 minutes in, I probably should have said, "Oh, we'll scrap this and react to Carl's video on his advice to reform." But I'll do that myself.
Night's young. You could.
It's not. I've been up
Take a
since
peek.
6. No,
Oh yeah.
that's not happening.
So Paul, but the point is, anyone in a position like that, there's a convergence where it's like, oh yeah, no, you've got to work, you lazy bastards.
But notice this, like,
I thought they weren't supposed to swear on this. Or is that rule just gone out the window for Lotus Eaters?
Maybe it doesn't count
It
for Carl.
frayed over time.
Okay, there you go.
this is some of the first stuff that they've been posting that actually is getting a lot
Traction. Yeah.
of
Yes.
traction and
Yes.
likes.
Finally. Now
And
put
again-
Navy in the channel.
On
Look
Twitter.
how much traction that'll get.
Yes. Literally, this is how these people think. Look how many magic internet points they got. Irrelevant. Everyone's been talking about reform and their policy for ages. I remember when the crime thing came out and everyone talked about El Salvador for a week. And then there was the next policy. It's crazy that they have this outlook. I get more magic internet points than you, therefore I'm more right. Okay. Honestly, I'd actually have it as a yardstick. The better something does on Twitter, the more likely that thing is bad. That's now my position, unironically. Oh, God.
It's like the inverse of
So,
the Bezos meme. Or the Bezos quote, where it's
Oh,
like
the anecdotes and, yeah.
data versus anecdote, whereas
Yeah.
with Twitter it's inverse.
Well, yeah, wait. Aren't the likes the data?
It depends. Are the likes also the anecdote? Or the
Well-
comments? Are the likes anecdotes and the comments data? This is getting very meta.
I think that because there's too much botting that definitely happens on Twitter, I don't think the likes are the things that actually matter. I think the comments are far more important.
I know,
Yeah.
I know it's going to make me sound like such a whinging guy, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that Low bots likes. I've seen him get likes, like 2K likes, when he's got like 1,000 views, which could be obviously a visual bug, but
He's got the Musk boost.
well, he does have a must boost, yeah, like that's pretty much guaranteed. But you know, because they're on speaking terms, obviously, as he is with Charlie Downs. And then despite all that, you know, I'm still not sure how many paid up members Restore have, but then again, no one ever seems to try and show that off. It's just, oh, look how many followers we've got. Well done. How many of them are American? Go on, do a
Which
stakeholder
something that doesn't
consultancy.
get likes or comments on Twitter. So
Yeah, exactly. Ugh, who knows?
You know, I mean, the online left, they're going mental about this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, actually going mental about this. I mean, who's this deal?
Sorry, but
like, oh, we've become Hassan. We're just fucking reacting to Twitter comments.
look at all these online leftists. Sorry, this is why I started listening to Times Radio, because you can actually listen to real life leftists in positions of power lose their minds about it, and that's much funnier. Hell, you have the entire Labour conference, or most Labour conference, calling Farage racist for this. Then again, I think that happened after this was published, so you know, I'll give him that.
Ola Wanley. Great British name, that.
Yeah.
Reform's not serious. Bring it on and see how the courts will deal with it. Well, they will deal with it because the
Well, that's reason
human
to
rights
purge
will
the
be
courts.
abolished, right? That's
Yeah.
the point. You establish a political system which will work in your favour for your policies.
Yes.
So yeah, that's fine.
Well, this
Bring
is
it on.
We're now going to the point of the video where they're looking at tweets with 6 likes. I thought they cared about magic internet points. Can I not find one with thousands?
Well, that's what I'm
Hey,
saying.
hey.
This is a Hassan stream. This is just.
I'll have you know that I'm very
Banned.
proud of my tweets that get 6 likes. Thank you very much.
Well done. I'm very proud of
I
you.
even coerced Jeg to like one of them.
Well done.
I appreciate it.
the point, though. Farage, guys, you better be prepared. You better have a slate of things you're going to repeal that they will appeal to in order to prevent you from doing this. Yes. You better literally, day one, repeal that, repeal that, repeal that, repeal that. Right, there are no more lefty human rights lawyers anymore because there's no more lefty legislation that they use to keep these foreigners in the country. So now, all gone.
There's an evergreen tweet that it was that Rupert Lowe fan account, but I can't remember what it goes by now. The tweet was just, "Hey Zia and Farage, you need to be prepared for all the people in positions of power who are going to be against your government." Oh, okay, we already know that. Thumbs up. Well, it's like, yeah, they. You can. I don't understand.
Did you know that the establishment is going to be against you? By the way.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Listen to us. We have very important things to say.
I know. I don't understand that. How there's been like a month of policy being thrown out from, the prisons one to the illegal migrants to legal migrants, and they even go through like laws in these things as well. Like the three things in Operation Restoring Justice are like out the ECHR, get rid of Human Rights Act, and one other thing I can't remember. There's a three-pronged approach to it that even Rees-Mogg went through and said this is all constitutionally sound and makes sense. And I don't think the Lotus Eaters went through any of that. I don't think they do that because they're basically saying stuff that Farage and Reform are already dealing with and are already drafting up about. It's
It would make more
crazy.
sense if they did it in the matter of, we know that you know that there are people going to be trying to block you. Make sure that you don't forget about XYZ departments.
Yeah.
And then that way it's actually something that it's actually potentially helpful. And
yeah,
a higher quality, yeah. To go back to the previous point.
The thing that annoys me about the way they phrase it though, it's like, do you not know you've got to be ready for the establishment? And it's like, sorry, they're the ones directly attacking the establishment pretty much every day. You're people screaming into a void. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you're a few guys on a panel shouting into a void of an American audience, basically. I think it's a point I'm going to make in my video on responding to Carl's recent video on his advice to reform. It's like, sorry, like a lot of us are going out and actually leafleting and things like that. And I've had people tell me to grow. I've not had bad abuse, but I know people that have had bad abuse. And there's people who've squared up to other people who've leafleted for reform. Like, not to overblow anything, but you're in a bit of danger really when you're leafleting for reform, and it's very annoying to just all Carl really does is go on camera and whinge. It's very annoying for him to then think, oh, listen to me, I've got advice for you. He doesn't understand the political process, really, which is one thing I'm going to go through. And then what they do, it's why we call them loose women. It's why we call them right-wing loose women. And they just go through comments other people make and either laugh at them or agree with them or whatever. Steve Lords comes up, they'll say, oh, that's a good point. They look at this guy who, what's he called, Dele Olewan or whatever, and it's like, oh, look at this leftist idiot, 6 likes. It's like, what have we learned from this so far, is my point. What have we actually learned that's new? I guess the Lebanon thing, that was a good one. The rest of it's been layering on the Steve Edgington interview, obviously. They don't shut up about that. You remember that?
Labouring the point.
Yeah, we have to labour that point because we're irrelevant otherwise, because we're being given what we want by reform. It's just, it's utter slop, which, don't get me wrong, I put out some things that are very sloppy. It's why I like my Vox Pops. They're very easy to make and they are sloppy. I don't mind that. Often the professional stuff behind a paywall, which could be very good for all I know. As I say, you rarely see any Lotus Eater stuff go viral, and I think it's because they don't really say anything interesting. And this has really put me in that mindset, because I thought they'd at least try and make an argument for Farage's listening to us, but they're not even doing that. They only said that right at the beginning, and we got clickbaited into, frankly, a really boring discussion, apart from the Lebanon thing. I'll give them that.
I mean, it's like a third sort of triangulated point away from Drogba Cunley's like sort of nuance maxing versus retard maxing. This is just boring maxing, and so it's got none of the substance of nuance, but doesn't viral like retard maxing at all. It's just boring slop. So
yeah. I mean, there might be something in the last 10 minutes. I don't know.
We can power through it.
Come on, let's do it.
You need to reform if you're watching.
I don't know. I feel a derailing coming along.
No. Sorry, did he just say reform if you're watching?
If you're watching, yep.
All gone.
They need to. Reform if you're watching. You're not watching.
Oh, they probably are watching, actually.
Well.
Okay. Finally, I can crash out. No, they're not. If they are watching, it's to laugh at you. like we've been
I
failing
don't
to do.
know. Harren's
Yeah.
what Harren's been watching. Harren equals reform, therefore
Okay, it's true.
reform watching, therefore BTFO'd.
It's true. I am very much in Zia and Nigel's ear. I'll give you that. But I'm only sending them these clips so that they can laugh at them.
I'm struggling to argue with here. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But if this hypothetical reform person who may or may not exist, if they were listening,
Yeah. They're a problem.
What are we gonna say? Like what incredibly nuanced advice are we gonna get in the next 2 seconds?
I have to say, there's like there's over actually 250,000 reform members. Some of them probably do watch Lotus Eaters. There's no doubt in my mind that some of them do. They have to, yeah. But I doubt they hate watch. But they'll be in the membership. Remember when Connor Tomlinson and Richard Tice had that big argument? Like, what all these people really do is they go out in the world to try and basically annoy everyone. And you're always going to in politics to some degree. But part of politics is knowing who to annoy and when, and is it worth... do the ends justify the means? Great example of this. Boris Johnson really annoyed Michael Gove with the whole who's going to be Prime Minister for Brexit. And obviously Boris Johnson backstabbed Michael Gove. And in the short term, good for Boris, he became Prime Minister. Long term, well, you got Michael Gove, who's now head of The Spectator, and to be honest, The Spectator's, is pretty good still. Slightly worse than when Fraser Nelson was in charge, I'll say, but still pretty respected. Whereas Boris Johnson, this is the thing, and this is the problem that a lot of the Zoomer often have. They basically go out to try and annoy everyone but Rupert Lowe and anyone who's allied to him. Well, Rupert Lowe annoys everyone apart from Tories that want to use him to attack Farage. They've kind of put themselves in a really bad position where long term they're probably not going to get very far. And Lotus Eaters are just... One, they already have a bad reputation because of UKIP Rape Man. And UKIP Rape Man annoyed the entire media by just not taking any of the process seriously. Which obviously he took a gamble and said, oh, that's because the public want it. Turns out the public don't want that. Never wanted that. Turns out they actually want someone serious who doesn't make rape jokes about MPs.
Technically, it wasn't a rape joke. Technically speaking.
It was a joke. It was a joke where the punchline was about rape. It's close enough.
It was about rape.
It was a no. You're confusing the argument here. People call it people call it a rape threat. It wasn't a rape threat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, Vic.
As Worcester Club legal counsel, I advise you, Cero, to cease this line of discussion.
Okay, I understand.
There you go. You got told. He'd struggled to represent us. He's in a different country. Anyway, finally, we're 16 minutes in, but I think I can finally crash out. And I just finished my second pint.
Well, I'm going to crash out over Nietzsche if I'm in text form. So.
Well, there you go.
Well,
he might.
So can I get the shots?
No.
If you want.
I'm hoping to end in 20 minutes, but I don't think that's happening.
Yes.
Well, fine, but we're carrying on.
First, then, you need to hire a lawyer, get them on the payroll, a lawyer that is intimately familiar with
Sorry.
I know one.
What? Oh,
I clapped when you said the line.
Sorry.
He said the line.
We're getting through this because I have to. Like, how uninformed are these people?
We need this whole sentence. Yeah,
hire.
Okay. Just let him go. Let him.
Again, it's the.
I'm going to mute myself. 1 moment.
It's the Rupert Lowe fan tweet. Oh, get yourself a lawyer. What have you missed? Everything about reform. They have a load of KCs on tap for free.
Well, heed my words then. You need to hire a lawyer, get them on the payroll, a lawyer that is intimately familiar with every single case that has been, squashed, under what legislation it's been squashed, analyse it, and repeal every single point of legislation. If you don't have that already in place, you need to get it in place. Otherwise, you're not serious.
Yeah, find yourself the furthest right-wing lawyer you can find, and just have him draw up literally a slate of things that you just need to repeal on day one.
Every single piece of legislation. Every single bit.
Yeah, that's me.
Again, thumbs up. They're already doing that. Well done. Why do you think they came out with the Human Rights Act and the ECHR? Okay, everyone's talking about that, but then there was a third thing I can't remember. They're they haven't, as they said before, they can't. They kind of run on a shoestring. Reform HQ. It's amazing how little money they actually run on. So they are using volunteer KCs at the moment, which a lot of quite happy to do with, in being a right wing and wanting to help out the political project. I don't know why they have to be the most right wing lawyer ever. And how many like vehemently right wing lawyers are there, Steadman? Because I can't imagine there are many.
Well, I'm sure there are a few floating around, but probably of the old guard. But obviously, my experience at the bar is, libtard central. Probably only surpassed by being in university in Melbourne, which is like Australian Los Angeles or whatever. So what's that? Plus San Francisco.
Very liberal from what I hear.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I just want to make it clear as well, because people sometimes confuse what I'm getting annoyed at here. This isn't bad advice. The thing is that if they were informed at all about what's going on with reform, which is not particularly difficult to find out because they tell you what's going on all the time, then they'd know they have a team of KCs. So, they had one to drum up that. Well, they got an independent one to drum up the one on the low, obviously. But yeah, they have a team of lawyers, and it's literally what they're in for, to advise on what they can and can't do. They didn't quite have that a year ago. That's why he said, I don't know if we can do mass deportations. I don't think it'll be politically possible. A year later, you've had that team. Oh, turns out it is. You just need to change some laws. And obviously have the will, whatever. Ugh, these people annoy me.
Just literally like Tony Blair legislated like a demon. Right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Every single week he would put through dozens and dozens of sweeping pieces of legislation. You need to be like that in reverse. You need to be like, no, we are going to repeal so goddamn much. You're going to be, your head's going to spin.
Yes, they talk about the Great Repeal Act. They're on board with David Starkey. I mean, Alan makes a good point as well. Hire the furthest right-wing lawyer you can find. Okay, and when they do, that it blows up as they've hired someone who's mad and says some mad stuff. What then? Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again,
they had an issue with the doctor. Like,
hey, what?
They had the issue with the doctor. You don't want to just go find the most mentally.
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. Like getting that I can't remember his name, but that anti-vax doctor on the main stage. I still just don't understand what the play was. I don't understand why they did that, but anyway, it's happened. It's brought up every now and then. They can deal with it, and I doubt he'll be back. Because bear in mind, last year they
the lawyer doesn't.
Lawyer what?
You go on.
Well, yeah.
I was just going to say the lawyer doesn't have to be a public-facing figure.
Yeah,
just
sure.
literally be behind the scenes of like, this is what you need to repeal. That's it. They don't need to be a politician.
Sure.
Alan
That's
is
true.
like correct. You don't want to what was the name? Westman or whatever of Trump's counsel, but at the same time, it's like you can hire a ideologically committed lawyer, and they can just do the work behind the scenes. And it's not a political problem.
Well, as we say, we already have that. They just might not be the most right wing people ever, but they probably don't need to be. And one of those people is not Black Belt Barrister, who's in the Advanced UK College, which I just find hilarious.
There's a cackle in the background.
Yeah, that was Tash. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know what he's doing at the moment. I've seen him making content,
He's joined Advanced UK and he's been picked on the college by Ben Habib because Ben Habib wants his audience to join. That's why. He's also in Restore Britain as well, actually. He's in Restore... Oh, I might have got that wrong. No, he's on Restore Britain on the advisory board. I don't think he's in Advanced UK.
Okay.
But he's Restore Britain. I probably is a legal advisor or something like that. I don't know. But I kind of don't trust his judgment because he's a bit of a Tommy moron. It's a bit too defensive of him for someone who should know the law as to why Tommy was in solitary, but whatever. I don't want to derail that way. I want to crash out, but they're not giving me a reason to crash out yet. Apart from, someone in Reform's watching us. Yeah, the members. It's just leaflet. Anyway.
And be done in one act.
It can all be done in one act.
In one single...
I paused there, Cero, because I thought you said something, but it was Carl. Not helpful.
This is not going to work.
Not helpful. Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. I've barely said a thing all stream. This has all been Carl.
Well, at least he's not cut my internet this time.
Yeah.
They actually brought up David Starkey there.
And be done in one act.
It can all be done in one act. David Starkey's Great Repeal Bill. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zia Yusuf's talked about that. Again, keep up.
But, so this is fantastic, but let's not lose sight of the fact that Nigel Farage is only here at this point in time because, I don't want to take, we shouldn't take all the credit, but it is a large portion of what we do here. Lotus Eaters, online, the online right, quote unquote. He is bending to our will.
It's only.
He said the thing.
Oh, here we go. He's bending to our will by giving details out of policy that he said he was going to do a year ago. You just wanted magic words. No, I'm sorry. All you wanted was magic words. You then got the magic words, which, whether it was related to you or not, I don't really care. But you had nothing of substance to complain about. He's not saying magic words. He's not deporting millions. Oh, I'll take... Half the time they were talking about this policy, they kept saying it's not enough, by the way. But I suppose they're talking about the direction of travel.
This is the like, I don't know, it's just like weirdly trying to echo what happened in America, despite the fact that there is no level of like trust the plan from like these people. There is 0% of trust the plan. There is no carrot. It is all just stick, hit them endlessly, and then like, oh, why don't you want to deal with us? And just it's because you haven't done anything.
There are two people on the reform board who are addicted to Twitter. One of them's Darren Grimes, who's blocked most of these people. The other is Zia Yusuf, who's blocked most of these people. What do you mean they're listening to you? I'm sorry, but the ridiculousness...
It would work if it was the things like, where like Captain Dreamer with the posting the thing with eating the
swans,
yeah. It's like, if you have things like this go like mega viral, then you'd have a point. But this is the thing we started with, where they're not going viral.
I suppose.
But like, if you can go like mega viral on Twitter all of the time with a whole bunch of things, and then the like posting to policy pipeline, like this would be the reason, but they're not.
Yeah,
if they were, then this would be the case.
Yeah, the people actually in the posting to policy pipeline are like centre right people, like your Max Tempers, your Drupka Cunley, but Cunley's a bit further right than centre. They both popularised Boris Wave, but these people don't really interact with Lotus Eaters at all. In fact, most of the sensible online right, your Pimlico lot, your GQs are a bit mad actually. These people that are centre right do not like Lotus Eaters because they find them incredibly boring and stupid. That's just the reality.
If they weren't boring, if they posted stuff that would actually do something, then they would be able to say this, but they don't.
Yeah,
so they can't say it.
Like you might have a point with Connor Tomlinson, maybe, and he's a big relevance because he happens to know a load of famous people. But he's incredibly boring. Doesn't really have much to say outside of I don't like Islam and immigration, and maybe the odd one about trans people. But again, is Connor Tomlinson blocked by Zia? Basically, if Zia's blocked you, you are not being listened to. That's the point of this. And yet, who does Zia actually follow? He follows Camilo. He might follow Max Tempers, actually. You want to know who they're actually listening to. Just look at who Zia follows. And it's like the actual high-quality economics / immigration.
It's the people actually doing interesting things, like finding stuff that people will care about.
Yeah, going into the detail, talking about the detail, spreading the detail, getting it on the radar of people like Tom Harwood and other people from like The Spectator. Like that's the posting to policy pipeline. That is the accounts that Reform bother listening to. It's not you, and it's not
Max
you.
Tempers,
exactly.
Not being followed by Zia Yusuf, but and he's also not being followed by Cero. So,
wow, that's terrible.
I'm
actually surprised at that.
What? How are you surprised? I follow like.
No, not you. No. I mean Zia Yusuf. Yeah, no.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But like
public call out.
Oh no, my public call out. I don't know. You can look through my follow list. You're probably going to blush. But actually, it's not that bad. One thing I was actually going to ask was if Advance, is it Advance or which one is it? No. Advance is the toothpaste one, so it can't be a party but wants to be. So it's the other one. Wants to be a movement.
Restore, yes, Restore Britain. Yeah.
They effectively want to be a think tank without being a think tank. Do Reform actually have any think tanks, like officially?
I think some of the affiliated ones are like ex-Tory ones. They do. I think they do a bit of work with like Centre of Migration Control. Danny Kruger was with the IEA the other day talking about. It was a really interesting conversation with the IEA, Institute of Economic Affairs, which was it used to be crazy free market, and these days it's actually a bit more sensible than that. It's the one that Reem Ibrahim's in and Christian Niemitz, but this panel was Danny Kruger with Fraser Nelson and a few other people talking about how the benefit system's just completely screwed. But they weren't talking about why the economics of it was bad, because that's pretty obvious. They were talking about like morality and things like that. So that one that seems somewhat affiliated. Yeah, they've not set any up from scratch, but I don't think they necessarily need to, because there's been plenty of like Looking for Growth's one I think they work with. Taxpayer Alliance, I know they've been in talks with them. Yeah, they've obviously got think tanks on side. You can't come up with policy from scratch like this. But
well, that's what I was wondering, because I know like the other parties have them, but Reform is a very new party, and so I'm thinking, well, you do need anchoring points. You do need people who actually just sit down and work through the minutiae of the policies.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, on the other hand, like how many think tanks could you actually name that are Tory affiliated? It's probably not many.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I sort of know of them more than I know what they actually are.
Yeah, and to be honest, with think tanks anyway, they tend to be just happy with any party that's interested in them anyway. Some are basically a front to be an arm of the Tory party. Like I think I can't remember which one it was, but Rupert Lowe, Robert Jenrick, and there was that panel where they were talking about what it's like to be English. And the entire audience was just full of ethnats, and none of the panel were really ready for that. Which I think is going to happen more and more, and I think it's going to get people blacklisted, because I think they're just going to be too annoying. But there we go. But yeah, I mean, this is the funny thing with Reform. Like, it's right to say they're in their kind of adolescent teenage years, as Farage has said, because it's gonna take like 10 years for them to be a fully fledged. Properly entrenched party. They're still malleable at this point. And what a lot of people did was saw that Reform were getting popular and decided to try and piss them off, which is just stupid. Why would you do that? Whereas I did the opposite. And, my notice has been obviously very limited, but I'm not blocked by Zia Yusuf, and in fact he likes a lot of my tweets, so there you go. But yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't follow Max Tempers though. That does surprise me, but he definitely sees them because he taught.
Zionist in control.
Yeah. Well, actually, interestingly, do you know, again, online right influence, big account, Drupka Kunli, do you know what he replied to Zia Yusuf? He brought up stochastic terrorism. What did Zia Yusuf do for the next hour? Talk about stochastic terrorism and brings it up in interviews. Like, I'm pretty sure it was Drupka Kunli that influenced that. Was it any of these people? No, it was someone that hates them. It's just crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Drogba even replied to Zia one time saying your tweets have been getting better or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was like very recently to do with
probably
the terrorism stuff.
Possibly, yeah. But it's exactly like that. Like, is there online influence? Yeah, this is the problem with saying the online right. There's about 10 factions, and Zia only listens to about 3 of them. Our faction being one of them, I hope. I'd consider myself part of the Max Tempers circle, though, to be fair. So there we go.
Because we've made the argument so successfully over the last year that Nigel Farage has realised that the vibe has shifted.
Yeah.
High understanding is like, no, if you say anything else other than we're going to deport millions, then you're going to get it in the neck.
He's not said he's going to deport millions, to be fair. So even that
and you're putting it in the neck anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he did it, it's still not good enough. Well, he didn't do it, I suppose that's the point. Oh, you're going to get it in the neck from us. Who cares? Your audience is American. Nobody cares because they can't vote. Come on.
Constantly in your comment section, you're going to constantly get bombarded with hatred online from people like, "What? That is not sufficient."
Oh my god, that's his argument. You're going to get hate online. They blocked you. Who cares? Come on, the only Zia said he has an intern. He probably didn't have an intern. Let's be real. Everyone else has an intern, and they ignore notifications. Like, you're kidding me? Come on. Gotta be more serious than this.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it is absolutely the online right of people like us, and thank God you guys helping us stay afloat, that has allowed this sea change in British political politics. And you'll notice how they're all
So this is what it comes down to. The reason he talked to the audience there was basically to say, basically give us more money. This is the result. You get more base Nigel Farage. It's not true. We know it's not true. We just went through why it's not true, but you have to keep that narrative up to keep.
Well, I mean, this is the thing that's annoying me. Is like this is the Americanization. This is just the like that they're just there isn't anything new. It's not doing their own thing. It's just we're just going to copy what worked for the Americans. Because...
Well, yeah. What the incredible irony of all this? This is literal smear merchanting. This is literal smear merchanting. It's like, give us money and we'll keep having a go at Farage, no matter how true or not it is. Because as we've gone through, it's like you've got to bring up the thing from the Edgerton interview from a year ago to say he's flip flopping. He does it all the time, by the way. We're only got to bring up that one clip. Like, come on.
Well, I'm not going to labour the point.
No, I'm not going to labour the point though. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Are you finally having your crash out?
I am, thank God. It only took 18 minutes in. They said one thing of value before.
Well, I did get distracted by my crash out in chat. So what exactly?
You probably had a better time.
This is what was the offending?
This is.
What was the?
What was the what?
What was the offending line from the Lotus Eaters? Sorry about that.
Oh, there's been a. It's basically Carl saying we're influencing Farage, and because of your support, we can keep influencing Farage. And it's like, shut up. You're basically a smear merchant, and you've just admitted it, whether you like it or not.
And also, according to his own logic, surely them actually just continuing messaging on Twitter is more impactful than sending him money.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. Yeah. Because these clips don't go viral, as we said before. I've never seen a Lotus Eaters clip go viral. It's not happened. Which is
surely it has to have happened. There's got to be. Like,
as I say, the only one I can think off the top of my head was Harry saying naggers, and Stelios just looking like he wanted to die. That's the only one I can think of.
All now flying the flag. They're like, the Lib Dems like, we're patriots too. Labour are like, we're patriots too. It's like, yeah, okay, traitors, calm down.
Yeah.
I accept that you.
I'm not being funny, but I kind of outdid you all with the crash out with the Online Safety Act. I think I still.
Oh, that was
reign supreme
excellent.
on that one.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I think I'm still seething from that one, and I even know I was being baited.
Yeah, sorry. Again, this needs to be like the online right influence here. You could probably say is Homeland organising the Epping protests, because that did spark more protests. But then it's like, oh, everyone's flag waving. Yeah, that's because flags are going up everywhere in Britain. How many flags have these three put up? I would wager it's 0.
Less than Gemrick.
Less than Gemrick, yeah, exactly.
Like an indictment.
Yeah, it's like you don't. Sure, it goes on Twitter, but who were the people posting all these clips in the first place? It was Flag Force UK. Guess what? They follow me and they've liked tweets of mine that are anti-Lotus Eaters. So that's not really helpful to your point either. Sorry to out Flag Force like that, but I just can't get over this. I can't get over that. The thing is, I know exactly why they have to say this, because it's an advertisement. It's now turned into please support us more, because we're definitely doing useful things. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not useful at all. Your Carl's own channel, from what I understand, has more interesting things to say, and is much more likely to go viral, whether it's through James Lindsay or whatever, than the Lotus Eaters are. Even when James Lindsay's having a go at them, like they've had a go at James Lindsay on the Lotus Eaters, and I can't remember a single time he posted a clip of them on the Lotus Eaters. It's only Carl's own channel. It's like antiviral. I don't know how they've made an antiviral news channel like this that makes a load of money. It's great. It's a bit weird that now that I think about it. But anyway,
you know what I miss? I miss
like a captive market or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I miss when Carl, and I can't remember who else was on the stream. I think it was Arch, and I think Rags was on one of them. I can't quite remember who was.
Right.
But they were having a painting stream, and they were just shooting the poop, painting them figurines, and just having a really good time.
One, yeah.
Those are probably some of my favorite streams, probably ever, and that includes like I was going to make a Pippa Kirscher reference, but yeah, like there are ones that I just really like, and that was probably one of my favorite pieces of content.
And he's not done that in about 3 years.
I've reminded him.
Stop being miserable. That's the solution. Stop just crashing out. That's the.
How
to make better content.
No, we need to crash out more. Crash out over a card daily. Crash out over VTubers. Crash out over figurines.
Well, I am going to be crashing out over Carl again. If it's not tomorrow, I imagine it'll be the day after, unless something major happens. I'll tell you what I am going to do though. In North Wales, we are still expecting the big boys to come over, like Zia Yusuf and what have you. I might directly ask, have you even heard of the Lotus Eaters?
You should ask him to follow Max Tempers.
And I'll ask Zia Yusuf to follow Max Tempers and follow me, of course, as well. I might unironically just ask them if I can, if I get a moment with them, because it might actually turn out that I watch them every now and then, and they have some good ideas. I might be proved completely wrong here, which if I am definitely reporting that, because I have to completely change my worldview here. But I don't know why he'd listen to people he's blocked. Why would he block you? Again, this is the other thing that I can't get over when it comes to, we're influencing reform and all that. You've counter-signalled them for a year, and you're counter-signalling them now. Why would anyone from reform listen to you in any position that is actually for the cause? It's mental.
Yeah, like at least if you're gonna borrow from if you're gonna steal the Americans one, at least you have trust the plan and crash out and trip out. There's at least have some level of trust the plan at some point, surely.
Yeah, and you'd expect a direct reference to something that Lotus Eaters have said, but you can't make that connection. Like I said, Drupka Cunley, you get the connection. Mithras to Cunley and Tempers to, basically the whole of media now. Boris Wave. Because it was actually mentioned in Parliament before this, but it was kind of bubbling up, and then as soon as Reform say it, bam, it's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. That is commanding a conversation, and they are not influenced by you much. I won't say it all, because everyone influences the online right to some degree. It's just mad. And again, what's this all for? Is to say, give us money. Fine, I get it, it's incentives, but my god. Max Tempers makes plenty of muskbucks by actually researching and saying interesting things. You're doing it by smearing. Think about that.
The legitimacy of our movement and how we control the dialectic.
Yeah, and again,
we control the dialectic? What dialectics do we talk about that come from Lotus Eaters? I can't even think of one. What have they said in here? The only dialectic they really have is, remember that Steve Edgington interview? What dialectic is that? It's not.
Unless they're we are the signal boosters. We take the effort that other people in and then just use
We just drain energy. That's all we do.
Bruh.
I'm trying to work out what they mean by dialectic in this case.
Well, what they mean is Sargon is a fan of Marx, and then he stumbled upon Hegel at one time. He started reading it, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's beautiful. This is brilliant."
Oh my god,
he's going to become a Hegel simp now.
We control the dialect. It's like when people on the online right say we're the mainstream. No, you're not. You're not at all. You know who is Reform? I can tell polling consistently. Very consistently.
It has slowly dawned on me over the. Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was just going to say, I can't remember if I've mentioned it on this stream, but in that Ben Habib Lotus Eaters podcast they did on Monday, I think it was, Carl at one point was saying, well done, Farage, you're on 30%, that is good, but you should be on 40 to 50%. And it just takes me back to a year ago when he's like, oh, you're only at 20%, you should be dominating the polls at 30 odd. And then he made it, and it's put the bar up even higher. I said that for this whole year. These people will put the bar up ever higher. You cannot ever make them happy. That was made obvious very early on, especially when Rupert Lowe got kicked out. Clearly you can't make these people happy at all now, because Rupert Lowe was their baby. Okay, Rupert Lowe the way Rupert Lowe works, by the way, is that he does all his constituency work because he loves it and leaves all the international stuff to his team, who managed to get all these people around their finger to effectively give them Musk attention for Musk books. That's how it works. You know, like what's Restore Britain done so far? FOI machine, you know, polling, you know, are you a swell guy like Joz did the other day? And now they've teamed up with the Pink Ladies, which is now being run by 2 women who were in Reform talking about being candidates. I think they've realised that because they've got a bit too friendly with that Homeland guy, they're not going to be allowed to be candidates now. And now they're trying to basically find their own e-celeb niche. You know, they went to the Tommy March. If you want to be in Reform, obviously don't go to a Tommy March, because he has been another one who has counter-signalled Reform to no end. It's very simple, but no, they're the ones controlling the dialect. That's another thing, that Unite the Kingdom thing. Does anyone actually know what anyone said in any of those speeches apart from Elon Musk talking about fighting back?
I mean, as I said at the time, the only one that I can actually remember was the Spanish one, because I was trying to work out how much I could understand
Exactly.
with my very rudimentary amount of Spanish.
Exactly.
It turns out that my Spanish isn't as good as I thought it was, but I understood more than I expected.
There were a few speeches there that probably could have been considered hate speech with our modern laws, and nobody cared enough to try and get them in trouble, mainly because it was done by foreigners.
That
like nobody cares.
My wife pointed that out. She said, let's watch and see if they try and arrest the foreigners," because I was going to say, like, what, they're going to cause an international incident, and then I was just like, well, I'll brace myself. We'll just watch.
Yeah. Sorry, but again, Tommy Robinson's one of these things as well. All that ever happens when Tommy Robinson does anything, it doesn't matter how good or bad his speeches are, how good or bad his events are. It's basically there as a, everyone who's around him is bad. Everyone who went to that thing is bad for, lefties. Apart from Trevor Phillips, who obviously said, "Oh, actually, these were just normal people," and that's changed the dialect. Like, these are normal people. Trevor Phillips saying that, not Lotus Eaters, not people on the online right. Trevor Phillips. You've got to understand the ecosystem you're in, and the Lotus Eaters have completely memed themselves into thinking they're important. The only reason they have any money is because of an American audience. There, I said it. Right. Anyway.
Well, yeah, they meme
Even
themselves.
then, and even then, they can't get viral off of the Americans.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's a little feudal, like, serfdom or whatever, and they've carved out a niche. It's
yeah,
but they're not going to go viral. Not actually going to have a massive influence.
I've never seen an echo chamber like this. I really haven't. Anyway,
his flip-flopping is illustrative of that,
Yes.
right? Like he's a follower, not a leader.
Yes.
Like, again, this was something
we're the leaders.
not that long ago. We're going to deport 600,000, and then he came out and was like, "Oh, actually, sorry, yeah, it's just going to be, it's just going to be men that we're going to deport." And
then, I think it was men and women. I think it was children that he said we're going to have to be a bit more careful on, which is, reasonable, by the way. But
Reform position: deport the men and children.
I mean, the other really funny thing about that is you're still going to deport 600,000 like this. Like, this isn't a flip flop. This is a clarification. So there you go. And anyway, like,
I feel like hot. Oh no, you go on.
Oh no, you go, because I've talked enough.
I was going to say half the Dork right probably does want the women to stay, or at least the fit ones. So,
yeah.
Lotus Eaters misstep over here.
I'm not being funny as well, but
that was Callum's position as well before he left.
Unbelievable.
He leaked it, so they had to get rid of him.
They know too much.
The other really funny thing about this, though, is that Lotus Eaters for ages. Oh, it's all men. Yeah, so why does it matter if we're keeping the women and children then? Or not deporting them straight away, I suppose, is the way to go about it. Like, it's the men that are the problem. Everyone knows that.
then he rolled that back and was like, no, women are going as well, because what was the online status of that? Everyone was in outrage. Everyone was like, what the hell are you talking about, Nigel?
As the Americans say, chimp out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it literally is. Yeah, keep chimping out. Yeah, keep chimping out. It's working.
You can follow it. You can track it. Nigel doesn't lead. None of what he's implementing here, none of what he's stating here is his own ideas. It's
our ideas.
It's the right discourse online.
the arrogance to like think that the Lotus Eaters are the only people that thought yes, deport all illegals, despite the fact that again has been said by Reform for since the last election, for God's sake. Again, meme of me pointing at the contract. It's like, come on. I'm very annoyed.
I was dubious. I
Yeah,
I was dubious at the contract when it comes out, and obviously we won't see it until they come to power. And I hope it is.
Oh.
Sorry, just adjusting myself. Yeah, I hope that it does come to pass as we hope, and that I'm still worried that it's going to be a monkey's paw, but I guess that's neither here nor there. It's not something that we worry about.
Yeah, you can't get much worse than we have now, can you?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. The monkey's paw will manage to, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think that's sorry.
No, it's fine. We'll see how it goes, as you say. It's just, they don't actually go into any detail of what actually was said here, because Farage is actually addressing two completely separate questions. And again, I don't even. Why are you trusting the Guardian headline? By the way, never do that. Definitely read into it, because the position is that you can't get rid of children because basically the optics are really bad for obvious reasons.
Which is something that they've, that they intentionally use in America. It's the kids in cages thing. It's just like,
yeah, exactly.
You need to be able to be very careful of.
Yeah. Men, and again, anyway, we know that over 95% of people who come over on the small boats are men. Men are the issue. Men are the ones committing crime. If the women come over, they're actually women coming over are actually more likely to be genuine refugees. By the way, not that I think they should stay, but you've obviously got to process kids properly. Like, come on. They have absolutely no choice in being there.
Well, to Steelman, the Lotus Eaters, shock and horror, probably the only time I'll do this for the stream. I think what was with the indefinite leave to remain, and sort of stats and graphs and so forth. I think there are some ethnicities where of immigrant groups where the men, I think this might be Algerians or something, for example, where men have similar rates of claiming benefits to white British natives.
Right.
Whereas it's the women who are they're claiming mass amounts of benefits.
Yeah.
So to Steelman, the Lotus Eaters, you could argue that there probably should be a need to also remove unproductive women if you're going for this policy of we shouldn't be subsidizing.
Well, I mean,
this is the change with the indefinite leave to remain.
Yeah, but which will affect everyone, even kids. But it's. I mean, the policy from Reform is adult men and women, they all go. Kids, be more careful on. It's that simple. But again, the audacity, as Alan said in chat, the online writer just copying Obama's campaigning for his first term. You're not. How you think you're original for saying less immigrants, get rid of all illegals is crazy to me. Because I don't mean no immigrants. Obviously, they have an immigrant on the panel. He's not even try and give me that either.
He said the best thing so far. So it's one.
What? Oh yeah, the Lebanese thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. He's the only interesting one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So you must keep pushing this, right?
Curious.
Nigel
Farage.
He's a bit weak sauce, but we can use him as a blunt instrument to push the Overton window on a national level, and that's where.
But that was my point,
right? That
Who's
this we?
Is this we? Well, we the mainstream or whatever they say. God, I remember Tharium saying that before he retired. Just nuts. It's Steadman. They don't care about the money. Oh, they've got you there. He's got you there, Steadman.
Well.
Sorry, but
what? Never mind.
I know,
do you mean the Lotus Eaters?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, because they lose money. Yeah. Sorry, you go on, Harry.
No, it's this whole thing of these are just people that they've never gone out leafleting. They've never gone to a branch meeting. They've never engaged with a political process. and basically every comment that they have on the political process is just wrong to the point of like, oh, Farage is weak sauce. No, Farage is a politician in a political sphere that is so left wing. You got to be careful with the optics, and he's not even being as careful as I would be at this point. By the way, they're going further than I thought they'd go.
Yeah.
Which I'm quite happy to see. It's just how risky is it? I don't know, but they're in pretty safe territory. Averaging 10 points or more in the polls. And there's just no appreciation for political reality from them, and it's mad and that only comes from fucking grifters. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
What does upset me is what does upset me a little bit is that if you want to talk about one time where they actually probably did affect the dialectic a little bit, that was the Zero Seats campaign.
Yeah,
yeah. They did that, and then they denounced it when that was actually.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit confused about that.
I'm
just like,
we
were all there.
Yeah, there were fresh wounds after. There were fresh wounds after the. What an awful lot of these people saw when Rupert Lowe was kicked out was effectively, oh, my direct influence into reform is gone, and they basically lashed out about it, and it said really stupid things like. I still can't get over the worst parts of those clips of, what was it? Oh, they were like Ben Habib was just lying about poll numbers. Oh, we were at like 17% before Farage joined. No, you weren't. You were at 10, and you jumped up to like 15 to 17 with him.
It's very very clear on the graphs that there's just a massive spike in reform polling like right after Farage.
I'm pretty sure.
He's gonna leader again.
Yeah, I'm sure I still have. Do I have him? Yeah, I do. Like, look at that. It's just a spike up for the teal. So he said that he's like, oh, we would have got 5 seats anyway without Farage. No, you wouldn't. You would not have at all. You would have got at a push maybe 1, maybe. A big push for why people went out to vote for reform was because Nige came back. Listen, I know the online right really don't like the fact that he is a one-man band, and reform still has this problem of Farage being the one-man band, but it's also the only reason that anything remotely right-wing is being talked about. It really is, because you'd have Kemi Badenoch as the head of the right without Farage. Do you think that would be any better? Do you think you'd have any influence there whatsoever with the tiny amount you may have with Farage? Give me a break. Crazy stuff being said. There was other stuff in that Ben Habib. What's that?
Kane Ross, sorry, in the chat says Darian retired, aka Harry buried him at sea, Lamau.
Listen, right. Tharium just left. To be fair. Oh my god, Mitch missed the whole Tharium arc.
I've been gone for years, bro.
Tharium was my
co-host. Yeah, I remember. The Twitter days years ago.
Yeah, Tharium was my co-host who came on because he filled in a couple of empty slots, which was nice of him. He started off being relatively normal and then went very dork, kind of by the end. And I think it wasn't just me getting fed up with him really, and people were kind of letting him know in the Discord, and he decided it's not the place for him, which is fair enough. But he very, very much on the side of Lotus Eaters and people worse than that. So there you go.
And Rupert Lowe.
Yeah, big Lowe fan. I would be interested to know what he thinks of Rupert Lowe at this point, because I just don't understand how you can be impressed by him with anything really. I have a whole video on his rape gang inquiry and Restore Britain. One thing I do know is that when that was set up, his team that are running it, the kind of head of that. I know someone who asked him, like, what's your plan with like the rape gang inquiry and Restore Britain, and his answer both times was basically, yeah, we'll see what happens. Great. Like, doing that for Restore Britain, like, I don't really care, but doing it for the rape gang inquiry, like, this is why it's so amateur, and why, the women were re-traumatised. It's, oh, God. Madness. Anyway.
Oh, sorry, Mitch, I meant more like, I think I recall, like, I don't know, just I know you're a YouTuber, but just like being on Twitter, like messaging you and like being mutuals or whatever. That's what I meant by that.
Yes.
I will also mention that I am still on good terms. Just for people in the chat that
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know, I am, and I think for the most part we all are still on good terms with her. And we just, I think that this community just didn't. Yeah, it just wasn't. It's just not the right place at the moment. Though I do still speak with him, and I actually jumped on a few of his streams with Brutus.
There you go.
So
if you're interested in the Anglo Gang streams, there you go.
But yeah, and I personally would like to see him back over here at some point, but just not at the moment.
Well, if he improves, he will be welcomed back with open arms. We'll see. Anyway, let's finish this off.
That's very, very, very useful.
And when he wins, he might do something useful.
Exactly. Well, yeah, he might do. You know, I mean, that's the thing.
I'm not holding my breath.
No, God.
I hate these people so much.
He might do something useful.
No.
And if he does, I will give him full credit for it. You know, don't get me wrong.
And I think
I don't believe you. I just don't believe him. How can you not give him any credit for the last 3 policy announcements? Massive crackdown on crime, massive crackdown on illegal immigration, reversing the Boris wave. How can you not give any credit? Oh, I'll give him credit if he does something. He's already like drop kicked the Overton window to the right. Oh, that was us, really. Whatever. You would not be doing this without Farage.
I'm not going to preemptively make excuses, but we are trying to undo about, let's be charitable and call it at least 2 generations worth of damage and social conditioning. And like, we are going to try and undo that effectively in a single term, or at least make a stab at it.
Yeah.
Metaphorically speaking.
Just, yeah. It's crazy that expectation for anyone to get into Parliament and basically go, I nearly said full Hitler, or at the very least full Steve Laws, is just mad. Anyway, we've had a super chat for £5 from Adam Barley. All 4 of you say Katie Lamb Milkies, and I'll send 50 quid. All right, Katie Lamb Milkies.
Katie
Come
Lamb
on,
Milkies.
Harry.
There you go.
Wait. Harry, beg me.
No.
Do we want to do it in a special voice or something? Or?
Just say the goddamn thing. I do not want to dwell on this super chat. Just say it so I get 50 quid.
Not grifting, by the way.
Katie Lamb Milkies, there you go.
Come on.
I'm an easy nut to crack.
Come on, Steadman.
No, I don't think I will. No, it's honestly, Harry, you're just such a fuck. You know, for only £50 to be like incriminated by having like your voice say that line. You should bid for higher. To be honest.
All right, don't say it then.
Unlucky.
I won't.
Oh, well,
Giga Chad.
fair enough.
Good
That
luck next time, Harry.
is very Giga Chad. I respect that. Fair enough.
There you go. There you go.
I disavow, by the way, that the entire last 2 minutes of conversation. Right.
I don't actually know who Katie Lamb is, so this doesn't mean anything.
She's a new Tory
she's,
MP. She's one of the new
in
Tory
like,
MPs.
mid Kent or something.
Yeah, she was a spad to Johnson and Suella Braverman when Boris Wave happened, so I have absolutely no trust in her. But people say I'm a little harsh. I don't really care. Anyway.
To be explained clearly, what are the consequences of failure? Yeah. Like, he wants to save as much of the system as he can. Fair enough. He has to understand what will happen to the system if he fails and if he doesn't deliver. Yeah. Because the mood in Britain is extremely dark. People are rightly angry.
Can I just say, sorry, but getting rid of the ECHR, talking about a Great Repeal Act, you're talking about reform of the House of Lords, for God's sake. Clearly he doesn't want the system in place. What are you talking about? Why do they always say this? They confuse Farage playing the game with him wanting to be part of the system. That's what keeps happening. And they need that narrative to basically make it look like they're dissidents and make it look like reform's just part of the problem. Same thing with AA, by the way, but we know AA is a massive contrarian anyway. Oh my god, he sent it anyway. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Thanks for the good work, Harry. Well, you are very welcome, and I thank you very much for the 50 quid. That really does help. So thank you very much.
Yeah, bless you, man.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, having said that, let's finish this.
Also, I hate to be mean, but there's only a year between me and Katie Lamb. And I don't want to be mean, but she looks a lot older.
I am disavowing already. She's a politician. What do you expect? Is my answer to that.
Oh, that's fair. Actually.
Right. Anyway.
Politicians not named Trump just seem to like lose years.
Yeah.
I mean, even Trump at this point is starting to look his age, which is bizarre.
Nigel Farage.
Well, he's like late 70s, right? At this point, mid 70s, late 70s.
To be fair, no.
Really?
Yeah, Nigel
He's
Farage
nearly
and
80, isn't he?
yeah, he is nearly 80. Nigel Farage and Richard Tice actually don't look too bad for their age, to be honest. But anyway, let's go.
Enormous sense of injustice and lack of recognition for the native Brits, and eventually this has consequences.
Oh yeah.
The thing is,
beware of the wrath of the patient man.
Well, the million Tommy Robinson supporters out last week is that was a
Oh, the million Tommy Robinson supporters! Oh my god! Two things wrong with that. One, it was 150,000 at most. Secondly, a lot of people that were there were not there for Tommy Robinson. They were there to show patriotism. Like, honestly, have you actually seen like how the crowd worked? You had a stage wherever it was at the end of the place in London. The speaker set could maybe only go out to a few thousand people. Everyone else was basically having a party on Trafalgar Square while like 20 people were trying to fight the police. Like, sorry, people were not there to listen to Tommy Robinson or Elon Musk. And again, people that Vox popped said this. What do you think of Tommy Robinson? Oh, I'm not really here for him. I'm here to show my colours. It's like completely made up in his head. And no, actually, no, I take that back. He's only saying that really so that he can stay on Tommy Robinson's good side. Because we talked about the Tommy Robinson fiefdom before, where effectively Tommy's king and he basically allows people to have exposure with his name. Because I'm so cynical about Tommy Robinson, honestly. But to even claim there was a million, already don't trust the person there. Secondly, if they're trying to claim everyone there was a Tommy Robinson fan, crazy. Especially a million of them. I've said it before, Tommy Robinson maybe commands about 30,000 people. Maybe 100, I don't know. What happened to 3 million? That's a good question, Craven.
What happened to the 3 gorillion Tommy Robinson supporters? What happened to them?
Oh, well, exactly. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. There was a cryptocurrency rug pull that happened with the event as well, that only Pimlico Journal talked about. It's nuts. Just completely scammed his audience. And no, like, does Carl talk about that? No, of course he doesn't. Does he talk about the rape gang inquiry having a load of issues? No, of course he doesn't. Because he's part of an ecosystem where he can't complain about these things. He's as bad as the Guardian. He is. That's why I don't like the Lotus Eaters. Anyway.
Shot across the bows, and they really don't. Yes, personally.
Oh yeah.
I saw them.
Propaganda's been crazy.
They were like 150,000 far right on the streets. It's like, well, it was more close to 1 million, but yeah.
It was nowhere near 1 million. Stop it. The far right thing, yeah, calling far right stupid, but nuts.
Point is, be afraid because something is genuinely changing in this country.
And the thing is, even if Nigel gets
reformer getting in power.
in power and doesn't do what we want him to do. And when I say we, we're talking about on a national level, right? Because it is the popular opinion. What we have is the popular opinion. So even if he does...
We are the mainstream.
I am the mainstream.
I am the mainstream. It's as I keep saying, this is why I listen to The Spectator, Telegraph, GB News. Honestly, Tom Slater's probably the person who's got his eye on the online right and knows where they need to stop. He was on Andrew Gold the other day, and he actually brought up Zia Yusuf because he's like, oh, there's loads of people on the online right that obviously go mad about Islam and things like that, and there's fair reasons to, fine, but when they start having to go at Zia Yusuf, who's clearly just like a normal guy, that's when I kind of get off the train. It's like, yeah, that is the popular position, but Tom Slater constantly has to go at Lotus Eaters and all that because they're idiots. As I say, these people are not mainstream. They are niche, and they've carved out a niche that turned into an echo chamber, and now they pretend that they are the mainstream so that effectively they get more support. It's all so cynical. It's all so cynical.
Doesn't do what we want him to do. It's still useful because he would have pushed the Overton window in such a direction that though the individual that comes after him, because inevitably there will be someone that will come after him, if he doesn't do what we want him to do, will have just blank slate to do everything that we want.
The hilarious part of this is that the person coming after Nigel Farage is more than likely Zia Yusuf, which is really funny to think about.
I mean, I assume they're doing well, but also the problem is that if if reform fails, then the chances of like having some level of like green resurgence, like swing back the other way, is just as likely, if not more likely, than what he's saying as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if I can actually say this anymore because of that recent poll that said 33% of 16 to 17-year-olds would vote reform, which I put entirely down to the fact that I keep seeing them on TikTok, by the way. But a lot of people are just normal. A lot of young people are just normal, and more than likely have an ethnic minority friend.
Yeah.
And don't want to do things that will affect their life too badly. Sometimes I feel bad about Brexit because my friend, he missed out on job opportunities throughout Europe because we had Brexit, and I do feel bad about that. And the same thing's going to happen with these people, with like your average normie. It's like, oh, I don't want my friend to be deported. Like, that's happening in a lot of places in America, by the way, as well. I see it on TikTok a bit. Like, you overplay your hand, too many people become disgruntled, and then you could even get extremists that shoot Charlie Kirk in the neck or something like that. Who knows? It's another reason you have to be careful, by the way, because we all know the left are mental and kill people. So bear that in mind too. The right can do that too, I suppose, but we don't seem to be as good at it. I don't want to say we. The radical right don't seem as good at it. We do not kill people and obviously condone every act of violence. So there we go. Well, political violence,
I defer to the legal counsel.
Yes.
I also disavow violence.
I disavow...
Yeah.
I'll just play it safe. I disavow this entire stream. Anyway.
So, no matter what way you look at it, Nigel Farage is good and useful, at least at the moment, right?
Completely correct.
And he's been useful for 30 years, man. Oh, have you even said thank you once? I can't get that out of my head.
More stick. Keep beating them.
Oh, God.
Just to add to that
Have
point,
you ever said thank you once? Please and
Exactly.
thank you.
Exactly. They need some manners, these boys.
the competition between Lowe, Farage, and Jenrick is extremely beneficial.
Yeah.
Yes. Because they all.
Is it? Does anyone care about Jenrick anymore?
He's gone. He lost. He's over.
Yeah, where's Jenrick these days?
I mean, where's Lowe as well? Like.
Well, yeah, where's Lowe? If Lowe was actually effective in any way, the stuff that I covered in my video the other day on him would be absolutely all over the news. But no, the news forever has been Farage is a racist this week, whatever. Farage says he's got to deport people, like hundreds of thousands. Like, where's Lowe? He's on Twitter. Oh, you know, the richest man in the world likes
and that's not
him.
even him.
It's not even him. Yeah, it's not even him. It's not even him. Yeah, exactly.
Where's the beef?
Oh God, I mean, actually, I'm kind of interested now. Andrew Gold. I just want to see how many viewers on the Andrew Gold video we got. 382,000, which is, to be fair, it's more than the Bonnie Blue one. Which
I'm forgetting about her.
Oh
And
no!
then someone reminds me, and I'm in a bad mood again.
It's about the same as the number that watched the Charlie Downs interview, which well, I suppose the Charlie Downs one was out for 3 weeks more, but yeah, I'm not. That's like, you know, it's not no one watching it. The thing is, again, it's probably a load of Americans, but obviously there's no way to prove that. And I do need better evidence of that one day. My evidence at the moment is literally all of Lowe's fan base seems to be the same fan base as the Lotus Eaters, which we know does have an American audience. But anyway, very irritating.
Caucasian Kagame would like to remind us that Claire and Jane still care about Jenrick.
Yeah, but who are they? They're anonymous Twitter accounts. Like, come on.
we should get Jane on at some point if we haven't.
Well, she doesn't have a microphone, but
Yeah. What's going on with the Tory party? Yeah, when she gets a microphone, like, what's going on?
You know what?
What's going on?
I mean, you say Claire cares about Jenrick, but after these 2 immigration announcements, I asked Claire when he's joining Reform, and he said it's inevitable at this point. Just give me time. So, yeah, the Jenrick project's over.
It's over.
The Jenrick project.
It's over.
The Jenrick project's over. It has been basically since the Afghan scandal. Lowe's just. He's an internet niche. Like I reckon he's more popular than Jenrick in terms of online popularity. But you know, in reality, he's got a load of Tories to sign his letter. Great. On digital IDs, that is. Like, all he's used for is to give Tory MPs credit. Oh look, I'm not wet. The funny thing is, do you know about the Bob Blackman thing? He's an MP for Harrow, I think. So he signed Rupert Lowe's early day motion for mass deportations or whatever. Which, who cares about that? Because Reform has just announced policy. The next day, he brought in a whole bunch of Indians to Parliament to celebrate Modi's birthday. Like, how do you square this circle of I want mass deportations, I'm going to invite a load of Indians to Parliament? It's so funny.
Yeah, Bob Blackman is like that. That seat is like the kind of Hindu sort of. It's sort of enclave kind of, but it's like one of the most Hindu seats in the country or something.
It's kind of weird, but over the past 2 weeks, I have seen a remarkable shift to a lot of people who were Reform disrespecters being Reform respecters. And as I say, we're very forgiving. Like, it's good. I'm glad to see that.
Out in force.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this week, by the way, in the last 24 hours since this whole racist thing's gone on and Farage has done his little speech, we've got 1,000 more members. I'm sorry, you're not the mainstream. What Reform are doing is pretty damn close to as the best play you can for right-wing modern politics. You're not helping by saying just go as extreme as you can, please. You just want to chud out, and it's pathetic. You've been trying for a year. It's not got you anywhere. Stop being insane and try something else. Good God.
People have to prove their credibility, and this is proven in the crucible of the online right.
I hate to.
This is the sort of testing mechanism, is the online right, and unless you convince that audience that you're serious, you don't have a chance, and you will be one-upped by the next guy. So,
who is the next guy? You can't do this. You need someone in the wings. Why? I don't understand this whole idea in the political sphere of like someone will come from nowhere and be Uber Hitler. Like, Hitler became successful after trying for over a decade. You know, he ended up. I
was going to say
he was there, beer hall putsch, whatever. Like, Mussolini was the same. Like, Stalin, I guess you could say, was one who came out of nowhere because he was just the secretary of the.
Well, no, I wouldn't even say that.
Well, what do you
say?
But
he became a kind of big figure in the lead up to the revolution. He was like deported to Siberia and he became popular among.
Oh, he was, I suppose, actually. Yeah.
No,
fair
he
enough.
didn't come out like out of nowhere.
Yeah,
there's an expression in the business world where it took us 15 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel
this is the thing with Farage. He's a 30-year project. I keep saying it, and it's just like, the next guy, he'll be better. Who's the next guy? It's not going to be you, Carl. Everyone hates you in the mainstream, I should say. Normal people don't want UKIP rape man leading us. You know, you think it's going to be Ben Habib? Come on. Let's be serious for a second. Oh, but he got 30,000 members or whatever. He's not got 30,000 members. That's why he's begging for more membership. The more I think about it, honestly, you have to see the way he was reacting on the podcast on Monday. Because he kept bringing it up. It's like, it's why we need your support. We need your support. And it's like almost begging for memberships. And it was really funny because the reply from Carl and it might have been Fidas there as well, actually. In fact, it was because they did the whole all three people were born abroad, even though Carl wasn't actually born abroad. But it's funny to think about. Anyway, they both replied to him saying, well, this is why you're on this show. Like, this is how we're supporting you. And it's like, no, he wants you to become members. Get much more involved in it. This is your problem. You do not understand the political process. At the very least, Ben does. But this is why he's panicking, because he's realising his popularity was all a bit niche. You know, he had some people on GB News who liked him. You know, but Elon Musk is such an ego driver, and I don't really get it at this point. The amount of people that Elon Musk has like retweeted and followed, and they think they're the absolute tits of politics is crazy. Rupert Lowe, Charlie Downs, and now Ben Habib, and they've like got a reverse Midas touch. Like, everything they do just sucks. Like, they're not particularly impressive, but Elon Musk likes them, and so their egos get driven up. And similar thing happened with Lotus Eaters. Anyway, I think that's enough for a crash out. Let's finish this, lads. We've been going nearly 3 hours.
sake of time, I'm afraid we're going to have to...
Oh, we're over. So we'll close with Ash Sarkar's great words.
So, yes, lads, we're winning. His language...
You know what's interesting? This was from 2016, wasn't it? Right, yeah, so 9 years ago, 2016, 2017. So yeah, this it's just interesting how quickly things have shifted. You know, because it used to be the absolute cultural dominance of the left, and there was nothing going on the right.
Have you even thanked Farage once? Sorry, who was at the forefront of attacking these leftists, of trying to overturn them, of trying to win in the political sphere? It was Farage. Yes, with a lot of other people as well, sure, but great man of history, let's be real. If we're talking about one person that was the head of all this, it was Farage. And he didn't even want to do it. That's why he retired for 3 years. Goodness me.
And like, you know, the smug look, they thought they were going to win forever.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to replace us forever. And it's like, well, now there's a million far-right people in the streets. What now? Who?
The irony of that. Did you notice that? Anyone?
I got distracted. I was yawning just as he said that. Sorry.
So right. So so they're saying, look at Ash Sarkar. Look at Ash Sarkar. Well, I'll just play it again.
In forever.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to replace us. Absolute cultural dominance of the left. They thought they were going to win forever.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to replace us forever. And it's like, well, now there's a million far-right people in the streets. What now?
So he's saying, like, these people thought they were going to win forever and that they were on the road to everything they wanted. And this whole thing has been, we're the mainstream, we're going to win. And if it's not Farage, there's going to be someone better after. He's doing an Ash Sarkar, is my point.
Well, you see, they'd be like, well, but we're different. We're right and based.
Well,
Red pilled, so it's different.
I keep saying this to them. They're basically momentum, but without absolutely any domination within reform, making them absolutely pointless. The reason momentum was so powerful was because they basically did massive entryism into the party, got Corbyn elected, and then were his activist vehicle. If you're not doing any of that, if you're not playing the political game in any way, yeah, you're absolutely useless, and who cares about you? And then, yeah, as I say to finish off, it's like, oh, they thought they were going to win forever. And for some reason, the Lotus Eaters do, by not even getting involved in the political process. It's crazy. That's even more hubristic than Ash Sarkar ever was, by the way. Oh, anyway, American Loyalist $5. Don't forget Lowe's stupid motions in Commons that don't go anywhere. I mean, the point of the early day motions is to try and get a debate tabled, but this, like, yeah, you get a debate in the Commons, maybe. It's like, okay, but as you say, Farage and all that, they throw out their actual policy that looks like it could actually become British policy after the next election. It's way more powerful. So, yeah, that was a hell of a way to end it, I have to say. Go on, Sarah.
Also, Alan, I was going to say, Alan, completely agree. Normies are getting, they are getting reached by trigonometry. And I know because I was actually part of, I can actually verify this because I was actually part of their locals at one point. And you find that it is like just normal people. Like a lot of Gen Xers, a couple of boomers and stuff. You got normal people watching them, and the normies, they love when they put on the funny hats and put on the stupid accents when they're reading their super chats, and you know they are the ones that are reaching the normies. I'm not saying that Lotus Eaters aren't, but it's like when I think of people that are reaching normies.
Well, yes, I'll put it this way.
I think the Lotus Eaters aren't.
Well, I know Zen's met random people that like recognised him from having his video comments on the Lotus Eaters. But you know, it was like one bus driver or something. Compare that to.
Well, to be fair, that's not nothing.
It's not. I'm not saying it is nothing. I'm saying it is. I'm saying it is something. But I'm saying compare that to the rest is politics that filled up the O2 Arena. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
and you know, like we were saying earlier about the whole takes 15 years to like create an overnight success. It's like I'd say that also the Lotus Eaters, if they have reach with normies, it doesn't rely on Sargon being somewhat of a figure for like some years, even if it has been online. Because I saw one cab driver once with like a Sargon video playing some years ago. So
I mean, hey,
yeah, it doesn't rely on previous success.
Has anyone ever seen anyone else watching a Harrion video in the wild? I highly doubt it because I only get a few hundred views, but that would be quite funny.
No,
Definitely
not.
Oh, I know. The funny thing with my videos is that I know they're they're not really watched by normies, but I know a few of them have been. Well, I know AA used to say this, but they are watched by like politicians and other journalists. I have spectator journalists following me, for instance, and they know I make videos.
I should probably
be seen
more,
them.
You know,
You'll be
Steadman, I
fine.
think you're right. I think I probably should be more careful about what I'm saying on stream.
I highly doubt.
Yeah.
I highly doubt. I highly doubt they're watching 3 hours of us crash out about Lotus Eaters.
Karen
To
finally
be
gets his
fair,
dream job, and Zia's just
Yeah.
like, so that co-host of yours, that did he really mean what he said about the No, I'm not even going to repeat it. But
I
anyway.
disavow.
yeah.
I disavow.
What was this about? What was this about Katie Lamb and Milkers?
We were incredibly respectful. I disavowed. You know.
We were.
Yeah.
Yeah. We respect all women. We respect real queens.
I mean,
it's just a step up from the what's it called, paying to be what's it called? I forgot what's the Farage.
I have no idea.
Cameo.
Cameo. Yeah, it's Cameo. No, it's Cameo. Yeah, no, it's Cameo.
Cameo.
It's just a cameo. Yeah, that's the.
The cameo.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I mean, I'm not.
It's
I'm not.
Cameo. It's all right.
I'm not being funny. I was literally just reading out a super chat, so they can't have a go at me. So there you go. I mean, I'm not. If Farage can get away with saying "up the raw," I think I'll be okay.
Up the raw.
Yeah.
Also, that's cool. Yeah, Kane Ross. He says, "I watched you at uni."
Oh, thank you. And Alan showed his dad one of my videos. Oh, very good. Yeah, I think my videos get one video that did get picked up by someone who I think it's on Talk TV was that one on why Rishi Sunak called the election early. Yeah, it was the timeline one about Rishi Sunak calling it early for the Afghan scandal. Unfortunately,
that's exactly the point. Is that you put effort into the thing, and then all of a sudden, oh wow! Rather than stop posting the whole time.
Yeah,
you never go viral.
And annoyingly, it's only got 2,000 views. But anyway, it's at least it's been But as I say, it's got me noticed, and that's why it could be going a bit more mainstream. Who knows? Why did I send 50 quid? I don't know why you sent 50 quid, but I'm very glad you did.
Well, it is what it is.
Anyway, I think with that we've been here for 3 hours, so we should probably end there. Right. Thank you all very much for watching. I mean, unless there's anything anyone else has got to say, but I think we've laboured the point.
I'm falling asleep.
Yes. I need to go to sleep as well. Right. Okay. So shill time. No, I don't have time for gaming stream tomorrow, unfortunately, or this week. So be skipping that. Oh, there's nothing at the Guardian Saturday, and everyone I've asked is not available so far. So Jeg, you might have to fill in there as well.
Be available
if you're available.
I might not be.
Yeah. Oh God. Right.
Depends
okay.
on how late it is.
Oh God damn it! Right. We might.
What time would that be?
It'd be at 8, so you'd have to be up at 5 a.m.
Oh, good lord!
Bro, I think I'll be.
I think I'll be okay.
Right. Okay.
If you need me.
I probably will.
Even though I have my limits.
I mean, Tail Feature came back to the internet and I said, "Do you want to come on a stream?" And he's like, "Oh, not yet." He's getting his flat ready basically. So Tail isn't even available.
He's been getting his flat ready for like the last 3 years or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not that long, but it feels like it.
Oh, I know. But anyway, right, okay. It might just be me, Jag, and Cero then at this rate, but I'll try and find someone else. Actually, I quite like getting Tory Rebuttal on these days, actually. I might see if he's about. But anyway, okay, so we are doing that Saturday. And if we weren't doing that, I'll just replace it with a gaming stream, actually. So it wouldn't actually be that bad.